Hey, shalom, shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom. Once again, you're under the sounds of the voice of Kahan Tazadak and the true disciples of Christ, General Yashabin, Elder Marty, Lieutenant Israel, Benaiah, and we're gonna give people the opportunity to go ahead and
Israel
join the room, join the meeting. Give them a few minutes to join, then we'll get started. All praises to Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shah. All things we do through the Spirit of the Most High in Christ. To those of you that's actually not logged in, you could go ahead and check your emails. Should be a link in there to speak. Shalom, Sister Dolores. Taylor. What are you waiting for to join us? Time is getting short. Shalom, Chantel, Davis. Waiting on you to join the assembly as well. So we'll go ahead and give them a opportunity to go ahead and join Yashabim. You got anything you want to bring out? You could do so now.
Khan, Shabbat Shalom, family. Welcome back. And definitely based on the title, and what we told you, it was just a matter of time. It was just a matter of time. So keep both eyes and ears open. Try every spirit, and of course, everybody who seems to be skinfolk is not kinfolk. It's always about the spirit. Don't get caught up in this rat race and a rigmarole of looking at someone's outward appearance and being a judge of that man. There's been many written scriptures about folks betraying their own people. So you got to try every spirit, and you got to keep trying it over and over again, because you never know when folks are going to be falling back. Not to say that so-called Grandmaster J, self-proclaimed Grandmaster J, was ever on our side, but the principle still does apply. Principle still does apply. Hey, so yeah, everybody did get the email. I mean, I got it. So yeah, everybody, y'all go ahead and come on in. Israel, I see you having some connection issues. I'm about to get you a landline hardwire on your device, huh? Definitely need you in here.
Oh, who's that, Yashabin?
Israel.
Oh yeah. His connections be going in and out. On the Shabbat, man. I know we starting really late, but despite the times that we're starting, our brothers are out congregating or something. They're supposed to be within their gates studying. Studying your scriptures. There's no reason right now. There's no reason Benaiah shouldn't be on him. I call people out, man. There's absolutely no reason, because today's the Most High Shabbat, man. If people are not congregating, if you're not involved in a Shabbat service, you're supposed to be within your quarters, within your home, studying the Bible with your family. Otherwise, you're desecrating the Most High Shabbat, man. Now, anyone, David, I didn't even send him the link, man, because he got in his emotions yesterday, and I don't have time to really deal with that stuff right now. I'm dealing with too many other things, man. But the other brothers, I don't think I might have sent it to Dwayne, but I definitely sent it to Elder Marty. So we'll give him the opportunity. Let's see, Benaiah just joined in, man. But people, that you got to take this more seriously, man. This is about salvation. This is not entertainment. People hear me say that on these commercial videos, but this is not entertainment. This is really about your salvation. We're not like these other camps. We do this for real, man. We do this for real. We do this. We're really trying to save souls, man. And so this is a problem, man. Most of you have not been able to let yourself out of the prison of the other Adam. But we're gonna go into that. Israel, you got anything you want to bring out? But now you got anything you want to bring out? And we're gonna wait, see if Marty comes in, see if Zadok comes in. Otherwise, we're gonna go ahead and get started, man.
Good night. You there, Art? Is all well with you, brother? Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. I just saw the message. I was downstairs. Wasn't by my phone, but Shabbat Shalom. Should be a good lesson. Good teaching.
Yeah, I'm making some phone calls right now. So give me a quick second.
Calm. Yeah, I take the Shabbat serious. You know, you gotta really. That's when I unplug all other devices. Really, worldly devices, TV, and games and stuff like that, and really kind of stay away from my phone. Other than if we got a call, and just getting the scripts and continue my reading. And being consistent with that. Try to read every day, but on the Shabbat, you gotta read. Have to. There's gonna be a time where you might not be able to read this book, to read this message. And you're gonna be wishing you had the time to read, and you had the time to go over scriptures with brothers and really get an understanding. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Shabbat Shalom.
Yeah, I wasn't able to reach Zadok, but we'll see. Yeah, to drive home the point, you're definitely on the right track. There will come a time where we're not going to be allowed to. It always repeats itself. You were going over that with last night's lesson. And how there's war made against the Most High's law, statutes, and commandments. You know what I mean? So we in that time again. All that legislation passed about doing things that shouldn't be done. So we are definitely in that time again.
Hey, Shalom, Zadak, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat's almost over here, but it's still going on over there where you at.
Shalom.
I know you heard about Grandmaster Jay being arrested.
Yeah, and I said he got out the next day. Now, what kind of person gets out of the Fed the next day?
Yeah, I mean, there's been all kind of rumors going around, man. So, just want to clear some of that up because, and there's some things that's been going on that I, don't really look favorable upon, Yeah, our people, man. There's some funny people, man. Well, anyone got anything, man, before we should get started on this message?
Oh no, I was gonna ask the doctor. Did you get my text a few minutes ago?
No, hold on.
Probably was on the call, man.
Oh,
Come on.
Yeah, because I just walked back to the screen and he was already up there.
okay, good, cool.
There's Marty right there. So it looks like everybody that's supposed to be here is here. If they're not here, Most High say none of mine are lost. So they're not supposed to be here. So we want to say Shabbat Shalom to all the believing Israelites and to those of you that's on the outside looking in. As you see, man, they're turning it up. That things are getting worse and worse, man. Things are getting worse, and we got to be steadfast. And you can't take this as a joke, as a game. This is very real, man. This is about salvation. It's not about entertainment. Like a lot of people go out on corners, man, and that's primarily for entertainment. But do they really care about your soul? Do they really care about my soul? I contend that they don't, man, just based on a lot of the stuff that goes on these people that call themselves Israelites. Yasha Allah. And they ridicule the people that refer to themselves as Christians and they make mockery of them. What I'm discovering is they're no better. So basically, this message right here, I'm sure all of you know, and I'm pretty sure some of his followers are on this call right now. So let me start off by saying, Grandmaster Jay was arrested. Zadok just gave an update. To my understanding, he was arrested Thursday. Zadok just gave an update that he was out. Now, from what the news media was saying, he was looking at 20 years. I've even heard rumors like Terrence Chase put out that he's arrested without bond. You see, this is how people start rumors without verifying things. So let me start this all properly, right? Grandmaster Jay is my brother, and I love him. None of the things that we ever said in regards to Grandmaster Jay was ever attacking his person. We just did not conform with his tactics and sending people out untrained. I never spoke anything personally against that man because that's what the enemy wants us to do, is to ridicule and belittle each other. The man is my brother. I'm going to make that perfectly clear. And I love him. Though we did, myself, Yashabin, Zadok, we all said the way that he was actually handling these situations based on our military experiences, there would be severe consequences. Now, I don't know the details. I'm not going to insinuate as to how he was able to get out, from a federal indictment. Allegedly, he pointed weapons at federal officers that was on top of buildings. Right. So, to all of you that's unaware, some of you may be unaware, the notorious, infamous, outspoken leader, or should I say the self-claimed militia that referred to himself as Grandmaster Jay and quote, not fucking around coalition, aka NFAC, was arrested by the FBI after allegedly, listen to my words closely, after allegedly pointing a rifle at federal and local police while protesting in Louisville back in September. Now, I'm using the word allegedly because we know how these people move. You know how deep the programming go. Even if he didn't do that, there's certain forces will make it appear that our brother did do that. Now, I'm not saying that he did or he didn't, but I will say this. You got to be very, very discerning when you're dealing with the enemy. I'm going to say this, man. Though I don't agree with the brother's tactics and sending people out the way that he did, I do not think that Grandmaster Jay would be so naive to deliberately point a weapon at a federal agent. I want you to think about, I want you to think for yourselves, right? See, again, I always state this, right? I don't teach people what to think. I teach you how to think for yourselves. And that is an exceedingly difficult thing to do because the programming runs so deep. You don't even realize how bad you've been programmed. Now, I want you to think. If our brother, Grandmaster Jay, pointed a weapon, I want you to think about this, Zara, at a federal agent or police, do you not think they would not open fire? That's a question. But it's a rhetorical question. What would you say regarding that, Yashabin? Given the history of our interactions being melanated people in our interactions with law enforcement, do you not think, because they're alleging that he pointed it not just at federal agents, but at police also that was up on buildings? Now, I mean, we know, Yashabin, from military training that we're taught to keep the weapon up and down range.
Exactly.
That's the safe point. The weapon is up and down range. So if I'm keeping my weapon up and down range and there's someone up on a building,
You
pointed at one of my people as they was doing that. I mean, we saw that they got injured when they did that. So, I mean, I just want people to think for themselves. Okay, I hear you, brother Awkwards. You're saying he's been exposed as being an agent. So now he's implementing an exit strategy. It may be. But unless I have factual information on someone, I can't, consent to that. Because I know how the enemy moves. The enemy wants to turn us one against the other. So the man, the brother that was self-described leader of the Not Fucking Around Coalition, in the quote, John Fitzgerald Johnson, or as he was actually known as Grandmaster Jay, was actually held in Oldham County Detention Center, charged with assaulting, resisting, or implementing certain officers or employees. Now, Zena, when did you hear that he was actually released? Because from what I learned, he was actually arrested on Thursday.
Yeah, I've seen on most of the black news channels like Tariq Nasheed them and the Savage showing them that he got released Friday, yesterday, on one day after being arrested. It actually showed a picture with him taking with a couple with a female leader and his militia and two of the male leaders in his militia. And pretty much that was it. They never did say that they dropped the charges or anything like that, but I was looking like, well, damn, so he had I forgot what his bail supposed to have been. I forgot, but I don't know. You get a bail that fast,
right?
You get arrested one day and you get out the next day. That's kind of fast.
Yeah, that's. I mean, it sounds really fishy. You know what I'm saying? But I'm the kind of man, I won't say anything on something unless I've done extensive research. I don't want to have to retract my words. And a lot of people are doing that because I heard one guy say, Terrence, well, he can't, there's no bond for it. Okay, well, he's out. So we know that was inaccurate. Now, we got allegations that, or should I say conspiracy theories, that he's an agent. Maybe he is. I mean, that's yet to be determined. But according to the probable cause affidavit, which is actually public information, on September the 4th, Grandmaster J, aka Johnson, pointed a rifle at Metro Police Department officers as well as federal officers, right? And so these officers were actually reportedly conducting a surveillance, a protest taking place where Jefferson Square is located in downtown Louisville. So the police received word that between 6 to 8 armed individuals were parked on the Armory Place near a parking garage. Now, according to the police, there was 2 federal officers along with 3 Louisville officers that went to the top of Jefferson County Grand Jury building to watch the group of men. Whoever has the background noise, could you please mute that? Show a little bit of decorum. So as soon as they begin to observe the protesters below, they said that they was blinded. I mean, I gotta go through here and mute people, man. It's really distracting me. Anyone knows where that noise is coming from? Who's that noise coming from?
I believe it's Marty.
Me here, man.
So, but I got you.
So, you know, according to these police, 2 federal officers, you know, and people that's putting out these rumors, unless you could validate that, because people has called me an agent. Unless you could validate that, it's not good, man. The Most High said you're going to be judged by everything that comes out of your mouth. You understand? You got to be very careful, man, because the enemy can make things look a certain way that they're really not. People call me an agent. Y'all know damn well I ain't no agent. You may not like how I respond to certain things, but I do this because I love you. Even if you're so programmed that you don't even realize it. But according to these police, as soon as they begin to observe these protesters below, they were blinded by a flashlight. And then these investigators say that the flashlight was actually attached to a rifle that Grandmaster J, aka Johnson, was pointing at them. I want you to think about that, folks. He was pointing at them. And they didn't do anything? Just think for a second now. Now, all 5 officers identified Grandmaster J as the one pointing the weapon at them. Now, let me ask you a question. I want you to think. I just wanted you to think. I'm not making statements. I'm asking questions. Now, how in the hell, what did he do? Point it at them randomly? Or were they all 5 clustered together in a formation, Yashabin? You understand what I'm saying?
Exactly. No, you're right.
Things that make you go, for a thinking man. You understand? Things that make you go, That's interesting, man. And they says police surveillance pretty much backs that up. Now, if such is the case, now we know how police surveillance goes. We've seen police put their knees on our necks and they proclaim themselves to be innocent. Now, all these officers advised they were actually concerned that Johnson might intentionally or even accidentally discharge a round on them. If they thought that, do you think they would have restrained themselves? Oh, guys, just think. Based on history, right? Based on our history and interaction with constables, would they have restrained themselves? Probable cause affidavit goes on to state all officers recognized the distance between himself and Johnson was well within the effective range of an AR platform style rifle. But they still resisted, huh? I want you guys to think, man, because all of you damn guys, and again, we never agree with the brother tactics, the way he sent people out. But I want you to think for a second, man. What is the likelihood, Zadok, of this happening and someone not opening fire? What is the likelihood of that? You pointing a weapon? You pointing a weapon at 5 different officers and no one opened fire? No one said, hey, put your weapon down. None of that?
And all this supposedly happened, what, 3 to 5 months ago in Louisville?
Yeah, I've yet to know any instance where we've been involved. We meaning the
say it like it is, melanated people.
Yeah, melanated folks. Never known for instance like that to happen and something not go down sooner than later. Ever.
Now, 2 of these officers were wearing soft body armor, but we're aware that soft body armor would not stop a rifle round. You understand? The AR-15 kind of has the same effect as the M16, man. When it hits you, it ricochets before it exits. Now, J.C. Holiday, a spokeswoman for the Louisville Metro Police Department, she met with Grandmaster J, aka Johnson, right? And another member of the group about 30 seconds after the incident, and later identified Johnson from the surveillance video, according to the documents. And so the brother Grandmaster J was booked in Odham County Detention Center after 1 p.m. on Thursday. And now, according to Zadok, he got out the next day, which probably wasn't even 24 hours. Now, is that mysterious? I contend that it is. So you go one day and you get arraigned the next day? It's kind of unlikely. Especially for that type of offense. Very unlikely. But it's interesting. But you also got to look from each perspectives. What do you think about that, Yashabin? What do you think about it, Israel? And by the way, as you come in the room, go ahead and give a thumbs up, man. Whether you agree with it or not, go ahead and give a thumbs up.
Yeah, so could it be that they were speeding this up because they knew it was the weekend? You know, if you don't get arraigned on Friday, you in there until Monday. So that's really all it looks like to me at the moment. But it is very weird. It is different. This for me, and clearly I need to do some research, but this is really unprecedented for something to be this severe or potentially dangerous to the so-called boys in blue. And then they take action this amount of time later, and then at the time contain themselves and hold themselves and not, you know what I mean?
You know, brothers, I know throughout history, they always have had a policy, shoot first and ask questions later. So if someone is feeling threatened, that is their policy, and they've been known to actually embrace that policy and use it freely. So, you know, it just doesn't sound very logical, but, you know, we'll wait and see what, you know, comes out. But everybody has, you know, the free will of thought, and it just doesn't sound very logical to, you know, to a non-military personnel, you know. So, you know, that's what's up. Just doesn't sound very palatable.
Especially that being federal. How would someone bind out that fast?
Yep.
But I mean, and this would actually be assault with a deadly weapon on a federal agent. You understand? Not just one, two federal agents, and three Metro Police. But you walk the next day.
Wow.
Now, you've heard me ask, other people about the brother. We never attacked the brother personally. We just never agree with his tactics of taking people out that were not trained properly in self-defense. So the reason, most people don't comprehend me. You had the people where they're not coming over here attacking us, Yashabin. They came over here and attacked us. We just gave warnings.
Sure enough.
We was just blowing this so far. We was just blowing the trumpet saying, listen, brother, someone need to reach out to the brother, tell him to calm down and handle things more tactfully. Now, you got people saying the brother's an agent, and you got other people saying that, hey, something's fishy, something's not right. I'm going to say what I know. I don't know whether he's an agent or not. There's been certain gestures in the past that may have suggested something like that. But you don't get arrested by the feds and walk the next day. But I'll say this, man. All of you that's throwing around a lot of hate, you got to keep in mind this is your brother. Whether you agree with his tactics or not, he's your brother. I don't agree with his tactics. But that doesn't mean I doesn't love the brother. Because his struggle is my struggle. We may not have the same way of ascertaining our goals, but we primarily have the same objective. This is what you got to keep in mind. See, the problem is most of you are so damn carnal. You claim to love your brother, but you really don't, man. You're no better than that other guy out there that's in the street that don't even pay homage or worship the Most High. And I'm going to use David as an example, man. When you chastise a lot of people, man, they get into their damn emotions and feelings, and they can't tolerate it. They take it personally. They don't look at it from the aspect that it may make them better. But hey, I'm going to just give you love whether you like it or not. But I'm also going to tell the truth. And the truth will make you mad. But then, if you receive it, make you free. Hey, Benaya, are you home? Someone get the book of John Yachanan 8:32. And someone get the book of Mark 12, verse 30. This is why we should not be denouncing our brothers. They could talk about me. I don't care, man. Because I have more inside of me, enough inside of me to repel whatever they trying to send in and attack me from the outside. I know who I really am. I'm the living soul. I have the Ruach HaKadosh in me of Yahweh Yahushua. So no weapon formed against me is gonna prosper.
God.
Might knock me down, but I'm gonna get back up.
Book of Yachanan, chapter 8, verse 32. And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
Now, where was his followers when he got arrested? Were they there standing outside saying, free him? Or did they start fleeing? Many of them started fleeing. See, that's how you know who really loves you. That's how you can discern true love, true brotherly love, and sisterly love from the fakes. When you get in trouble, you extend your hand. Who's out there to grab your hand to pull you up? You fell down. Where are they now? They're gone. Book of Mark 12, verse 30. Someone got that?
Come on. Book of Mark, chapter 12, verse 30. And thou shalt love Yahweh, thy supreme Elohim, with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind,
Read on.
and and with all thy strength.
All thy strength. All thy strength. If you love him, you will do what he says, Dolores. If you love him, you will keep his commandments, Nika. If you love him, you will love your brothers and sisters like he commands you to. Good, read on, King.
This is the first commandment.
That's the first commandment. Read on.
Verse 31. And the second is like, namely this: thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
So we supposed to love our brother, Grandmaster Jay, as we love ourselves. And when we truly love someone, if you love your son, most of you love your children, right? If you have children, right? If you see your son or your daughter doing wrong, are you going to say, oh, no, that's all right. That's okay, little Ray Ray. Go ahead. That's not love, man. You're setting your son up for failure, and you're setting your son up for death. Because if you love someone, you're going to chastise them and point out their wrongs, whether they like it or not. And they may not like you for it. Not at the time. But as they grow in wisdom, they're going to love you for it. Though they don't comprehend it at the moment. But you should still chastise them. Scriptures say the Father in the book of Hebrews, the Father chastised those whom he loved. And if you follow chastisement, then you're bastards and not sons. Okay, read on, Benaiah.
There is none other commandment greater than these.
There's no other commandment is greater than these. Why, brothers? Why it sounds like people were celebrating when he got arrested? You know how many people messaged me? Oh, yeah, Grandmaster Jay got arrested. No bail, no bond. So I say, wow, look at this. It seems like these people are celebrating our brother's arrest. At the end of the day, he's still your brother, man. Even you don't agree with his tactics. If he's sincere, he has the same objective as we all have, man. It's freedom, liberation. There's no other greater commandment than these. Read on, verse 32.
Book of Mark, chapter 12, verse 32. And the scribe said unto him, well, master, thou hast said the truth.
Mm-hmm.
For there is one Allahan, and there is none other but he.
There's no other but he. From there, let's get the book of Leviticus 19, verse 18. And then someone grab the book of Matthew 7 and 12. Leviticus 19, verse 18.
Book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 18. Thou shalt not avenge, nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people.
Okay, so when someone says something about me, don't you know that there's people that's railroaded me, man? I've done work for them, and they went back and they canceled things out and so on and so forth. I let the Most High deal with them, man. They had to come back. Israel could bear witness to that. Because one sister was on the phone that did that, man. She went and tried to get her fiat back. Then she didn't understand the information that she had, and she trying to reach back out. And then was offering to do it. I said, no, I just rather not deal with you. Your spirit is off, sis. Israel know I'm not lying because I had him on the other end when I was communicating with him. But I didn't hold a grudge. I didn't seek revenge. I didn't seek revenge. I just let the Most High deal with it. Read.
But thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
See that?
I am Yahweh.
See that? From there, Matthew 7 and 12. Then someone get Yakanan 21 and 17. John 21 and 17. After that, Matthew 7 verse 12.
Book of Matthew, chapter 7, verse 12. Therefore, all things whatsoever you would that men should do to you, do ye even so to them.
So how do we have people that's calling themselves? I want you to think, man. I'm gonna show you wicked Israelites, because you call them brothers wicked and so on and so forth. I want to understand how you have people calling themselves Israelites, but a lot of you, I'm not lying, in your heart, you want bad things to happen to our brother Grandmaster Jay. You want bad things to happen to that brother, but you won't want that to happen to you. Giving yourself being placed in the same predicament, you would not want that to happen to you. You got to change your heart, man. Your thinking. Your heart, man. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. And the reason that you think that way is because your heart is filled with malice. It is filled with hate. It is filled with envy. This is why you can't show love for your brother, because you're filled with hate, and you could actually only dispatch out to others that which you have within you. And since you don't have love, you can't give love. You give what you have. Do you understand? This is not the time to tear down our brothers, man. We're supposed to build them up. Yeah, we pointed out his wrong. Hey, brother, we just gave him warning. But I can't recall. Yashabim, you ever hear me say I hate that brother?
Nope.
Never heard Yashabim and Zadok say he hate the brother.
Absolutely not. We just want
to try to give corrected criticism. But some of you, it seems like you take it as a blessing when something happened to your brother. You celebrate it, man. You put it on display. You sharing it like it's something to be grateful for. So I'm going to ask you, man, what Hamashiach asked Peter. Get Yakanan, get John 21:7-13. He asked Peter thrice, do you love me? And I say to you, people like David, has a low sense of tolerance. See, when the heat comes down, let me tell you how you test true love, right? You don't test true love when things are going great. Your love is tested when something goes away that you don't like. That's how you see the real person. The real person comes out there. When you disagree with someone, that's when you see the real person. In my line, General Yashabim, it's easy to get along with someone when everything's all right. When you're in agreement, even sinners could do that. But what about when you test it? What about when you test it?
That's that salt in that pressure cooker. That's the true self.
Come on.
Book of Yakanan, chapter 21, verse 17. He saith unto him the third time, Simon, son of Joanna, Jonas, lovest thou me?
Yeah, do you love me, Peter? Hamashiach asking him a question. He asked him 3 times. Lovest thou me, Peter? Do you love me? Hamashiach wanted to be clear. I'm gonna tell you something, Yashabim. Get people message. It tells that I really appreciate what you're doing, and so on and so forth. I'm really grateful. I hear that a lot. But does these people really love me? Would these people lay down their life for me like I would for them? Like I do almost every day? See, that's easy to say. This is why Hamashiach had to say to Peter, lovest thou me, Peter? Do you love me? Son of Jonas. Read on. Well, let's see what Peter said here. Read on, General.
Peter was grieved because he said unto him the third time.
See, Peter was filled with grief. What is grief? He was grievous. That means to be filled with grief. How can the Elohim of Yahshua simply asking Peter a question cause him to be filled with grief? Spirit of Satan, how Shaitan jumped on Peter. Go ahead, read.
He said unto him the third time, lovest thou me? And he said unto him, Lord, thou knowest all things. Thou knowest that I love thee. Yahushua saith unto him, feed my sheep.
I try and tell people this all of the time. Feed the sheep. See, we all have a responsibility, man, of going out and gathering sheep. Some of you been around for a long time, man. How many people have you brought into the assembly? I didn't say this. Hamashiach is saying this, feed my sheep. He said, if you love me, you show it with action. Feed them with what? Feed them with right knowledge. Feed them with the truth. The most valuable thing that we could give them, Benaiah, is the truth. Why? I'll show you why. Get Hosea 4, verse 6. The most valuable thing that we could give any of you under the sounds of our voice is the truth. Why is that? Because of the programming goes so deep that you're destroyed for a lack of knowledge. And you don't realize. This is why we got people in the comment section arguing right now. You're supposed to be feeding the sheep.
The book of Hosea, chapter 4, verse 6. My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge.
Read it again.
My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
He's using a personal pronoun. My people. That's specific. Letting you know he has a specific people, but he's saying these people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. So the most valuable thing that we could give you is the truth. Let's get that John 8 and 32 again. That's the only thing that's going to free you, man. Lies are not going to free you. This is why many of you are still slaves. The programming goes so deep, you don't even realize that you're a slave, man. You're a slave to the first Adam. See, there was two Adams, man. You're a slave to the first Adam. You're a slave to the body. You think you're the body. But what about the second Adam? That's why a lot of you you don't comprehend me, man. You don't understand us, man. Because you're a slave to your body and you're carnal.
Book of Yochanan, chapter 8, verse 32. And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
And the truth, so the only thing that's going to make you free is the truth. So the most valuable thing we could ever give you is the truth. Why there's always so many people on the commerce calls, but not these calls? And when there's animosity, watch this. When there's animosity, when people are attacking each other, these are the channels you like to watch. Israelites banging on each other. You guys go there because that entertains you, man. But are they feeding the sheep? When these camps go, oh, so-and-so done this, so-and-so done this. Is that feeding the sheep? No, that's not teaching them salvation, man.
God.
See, you're not really interested in salvation. You're interested in the damn entertainment.
God.
Banging on each other, attacking each other, talking about beating each other. Oh, he's a bird. Making videos about
who's a manzer.
Yeah.
Who's a manzer? Who's not a manzer?
How is that going to save your soul, though? It's not going to bring you salvation, man. You people better wake up, man. It's not going to bring you salvation. It's a waste of time, man. So thrice repeated Hamashiach the question to Peter. Lovest thou me, Peter? Hamashiach posed to Peter after his resurrection, as recorded in the book of John. Someone get John. Let's get it again. Yochanan 21, 15 through 17. This actually shows a scene at the heart of a tragedy. Yochanan, John 21, 15 through 17.
Yochanan, chapter 21, 15 through 17. So when they had dined, Yahushua said unto Simon Peter, Simon, son of Jonas, Lovest thou me more
Come
than
on. In the Greek is agapus. Agapus me. Do you love me, Peter? When you read it in the Greek, read.
Lovest thou me more than these? He saith unto him, Yea, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee. He saith unto him, Feed my lambs. Verse 16, he saith unto him again the second time, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me? He saith unto him, Yea, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee. He saith unto him, Feed my sheep.
Come on.
17, he saith unto him the third time, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me? Peter was grieved because he said unto him the third time, Lovest thou me? And he said unto him, Lord, thou knowest all things.
Come on.
Thou knowest that I love thee. Yahushua said unto him, Feed my sheep.
Right. So Hamashiach, you know, he realized that, you know, he asked him 3 times. When you're certain about something, you don't ask someone something 3 times if it's a fact. But Hamashiach was willing not only to accept Peter as he is, but to also stoop down to his level of unworthiness and lift Peter up. Peter feels grief. That's why Hamashiach had to keep asking. Peter feels grief. So the question, if you love your brother, why so many of you celebrating what happened to him? There needs to be more love between all of us. You understand? There needs to be more love and less hate, less animosity. Some of us, we talk it. We talk the Most High with our lips. But when it comes down to it, you really don't believe, man. You really don't believe. Most of you have a turbulence. You know, like when you're in an airplane, a jet, Yashabin, you up there, you hit that turbulence. Turbulence, man, make it feel like the plane's going to crash.
Con, it'll check you.
Come on. If you hit a turbulence too hard, that plane might come down. See, you have a turbulence and it is destroying you because of your disobedience to the law of the Most High. You disobeyed the laws that the Most High gave you. See, the Bible says there were 2 Adams. This is why the turbulence is created. There were 2 Adams. Stop me where I'm lying at. There was 2 Adams, Marty. The first Adam was the man of the flesh. Remember, he was formed out of the dust of the earth and so on and so forth. But there was another Adam. And you've actually allowed the first Adam, which was the man of the flesh, to imprison you, the spirit, the living soul that you hear me talk about all of the time in commerce, but very few people comprehend that. And your carnal body has imprisoned the spirit, which is why you can't relate to me. You can't relate to Yashabin. Can't relate to Zadok. Can't relate to Israel because you're still carnal. So this lesson right here is, is meant to be simple and straightforward. A Bible presentation. And these are truths that should be used as a tool to help you understand the word of the Most High and His Son. But I got to say this. It is only by the Ruach HaKadosh. It is only by the Holy Spirit who leads us into this truth that you will be able to see the extent of what we're trying to say here. See, all of these religious traditions, they make the word of the Most High ineffective. So the word is my focus rather than a particular denomination, doctrine. Let's get the book of Mark 7 and 13. You stand the word, man. We're going to give you the truth, and you should know the truth, and the truth should make you free. And again, we shouldn't be in the comment section arguing and ridiculing our brother, man, putting our brother down. I'm going to tell you something, man. I'm so blessed that he has enabled me to see the part that I do, because some of us are so blinded. The scriptures say only the elect will get it, a small remnant. The rest was blinded. And so I believe that the Most High wants me to share these delights with others who seek to come closely, to know him as well. And this live stream is to encourage you into a deeper relationship with Yahweh while Yahweh Shah. Hey, Shalom, text, Mason. Someone got that precept? Mark 7 and 13.
Come. Book of Mark, chapter 7, verse 13. Making the word of Yah of none effect through your tradition, which ye have delivered.
Come.
And
so it's like you hear us, sometimes you hear me talk about the Moors. That doesn't mean I don't love them. You hear me talk about Muslim. That don't mean I don't love them. We're not talking about them personally. We're talking about the philosophies. But that doesn't mean I don't love my brothers and sisters. Understand that. See, it's all these denominations that's dividing us. But at the end of the day, you're my brothers and sisters, and I love you. Go ahead, King.
And many such things you do ye.
Come on. So the Most High's overall plan is to display his character, his nature, love, and glory to all of his creation. You have a lot of people that teach hate, man. And it has to stop. You have a lot of Israelite factions that teach hate. They teach you to hate all so-called white people. It's referred to as Edomite for no reason, just because of the color of their skin. That's basically what it narrows down to. They say they're all evil, even the ones that they don't know, even the ones that might try to help them. Is that the love of the Most High? That's a sickness, man. Does that make you any better than the Edomites to do the same thing? That's a sickness. That's a disease. See, the problem with you that's teaching that, you're stuck. You're trapped within the temple of the first Adam. And all of you that do that, you want to do things to a man-made in the image. But you're not doing it through the spirit. You was made in his image and likeness. The Most High wants to do things through you, but you won't allow him. But one man is not enough because creation was so vast. So Yahweh created man and made him male and female and told them to be fruitful and multiply, and men will cover the earth. That's the ruach, man. Let's get Yakanan. Get John 4 and 24. Yahweh is spirit, but intends to be seen in the flesh. So through the men, the creation is covered, husband, nurtured, and loved as a gardener who cares for a garden. Then the life of Yahweh will be seen and experienced through the creation. This is the framework that is actually laid out when we read the first two chapters of Bereshit, Genesis, the first book in the Bible. Read what you got, King.
Book of Yachanan, chapter 4, verse 24. Elohim is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth.
See that? See that? We got to worship him in spirit and truth. And we're in the right spirit because we supposed to, every single one of us, man. Every single one of us men is supposed to have the spirit of the Most High in us. And he blew his ruach into man, and man became nefesh, a living soul. But you're stuck on the first Adam. When we get to the book of Genesis, Bereshit, the 3rd chapter, we find that man, through his following Eve, the woman, he withdrew from Yahweh's covering. Man would have lived forever. What went wrong? What went wrong, Marty? What went wrong, Israel? Was the devil able to outsmart Yahweh? Why Yahweh shot? La'ah. See, the serpent in the garden was part of Yahweh's plan, which we'll all see as this lesson unfolds. And for a better understanding of how the Most High plan proceeds, we need to look first through 1 Corinthians 15 and 24. Says Salaki, 1 Corinthians 15, 42 through 58. Someone get that. This tells us how Yahweh works first in the natural realm symbolized by the earth. Then he completes the work in the spiritual realm symbolized by Shemayim, the heaven. 1 Corinthians 15, 42. Let's get that, man.
Book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 15, verse 42. So also is the resurrection of the dead. It is sown in corruption. It is raised in incorruption.
Khan. That's the natural realm. That's the created realm represented by the earth from which the first Adam was made. Think of it as seed. You know.
Verse 43. It is sown in dishonor. It is raised in glory. It is sown in weakness. It is raised in power. It is sown a natural body. It is raised a spiritual body.
See that? See that? See that? This is different, right? Now we're talking about people's spirit. It is sown a natural body. But it's raised a spiritual body. It's raised to what? It is raised to Shemayim, which is the higher realm. The higher realm of the creator represented by Shemayim, the heavens. Think of it as a new life seed after the seed dies, after the flesh dies, the new life seed. What verse are you on?
Verse 44.
Okay, we're going to read on. Go ahead, read on.
There is a natural body and there is a spiritual body.
Okay, so this talking about the two Adams, man. Well, we're going to get it right here. 1 Corinthians 15 and 45. We're going to get it right here. There's two Adams. You're stuck with the first Adam. This is why you're hating on your brother, Grandmaster Jay. You might not have agreed with his directives or his methods, but do you love your brother? If you love your brother, why are you celebrating his downfall? Go ahead, King.
Verse 45. And so it was written, the first man, Adam, was made a living soul.
See
the
that?
last Adam was made a quickening spirit.
See that? See that? So the first Adam from the earth was the natural man that we read about right here. The last Adam from the spirit, the spiritual seed, was a spiritual man. Many of you are not spiritual. You lost that connection with the Most High. Let's get that Matthew 1 and 20. Book of Matthew, chapter 1, verse 20. See, you're stuck. You're carnal. You're carnal as hell. You want to fight each other, put each other down. Lovest thou me, Peter?
Book of Matthew, chapter 1, verse 20.
I'm going to hit you with something, man. All of you, all men, except from Hamashiach Yahweh Shah, from their origin in the first Adam. See, Yahweh is starting with the first Adam in the natural realm, but we're in with a people of the last Adam, spiritual. This is why I say everything I say is spiritual, man. Most High is a spirit. That's going to be in a higher realm. You're stuck in this physical realm. You're carnal. Go ahead, read, King.
But while he thought on these things, behold, the angel of Yahweh appeared unto him in a dream, saying, Joseph, thou son of David, fear not to take unto thee Mary thy wife, for that which is conceived in her is of the Holy Spirit.
See that? Is of the Ruach HaKadosh. Is of the Ruach HaKadosh. But hold on, Tazadar. Wait. But didn't Yahweh say in Genesis 1 and 27 that he made the first Adam in his image? Someone get that. Genesis 1 and 27. And in verse 31, that his work was very good. See, that's the carnal mind thinking. I already know how you think, man. So I'm going to bring it out. This is why you talking ruthless and reckless against your brother. We never spoke against the brother person. We just spoke against his tactics. And there's a difference.
Book of Bereshit, Genesis chapter 1, verse 27. So Yah created man in his own image. In the image of Yah.
Okay,
created...
stop. Let me explain something. The word image here in the original Hebrew language means the image in the sense of a shadow or an illusion. The word translated likeness from the Hebrew means resemblance, model, or shape. So in other words, the first Adam was in the image of Yah in the same sense of a photograph or a structure is the image of the real thing. But it is not the real thing. Okay, read on.
In the image of Yah created he him. Male and female created he them.
Con. So I want you to take note, right? That the last Adam, Hamashiach Yahweh Shah, in his resurrection was in the express exact image of Yahweh as shown in the book of Hebrews, chapter 1, verse 3. Someone get that. We're going to prove it. I can prove it.
Book of Hebrews, chapter 1 and verse 3. Who being the brightness of his glory. And
that's right. That means Yahweh's son. The brightness of his glory. Read on.
And the express image of his person.
The express image of Yahweh's person. Read on.
And upholding all things by the word of his power. When he had by himself purged our sins, sat down on the right hand of the majesty on high.
See that? So in summary, the last Adam is the real thing of Yahweh in the flesh. This is emphasized in 1 John 4, 2-3. See, the first Adam was necessary in order for the last Adam to come forth, but it is the last Adam that is the glory. See, the first, which is the natural, then the spiritual. The principle reoccurs throughout the Bible. Most people don't get it. Most people don't comprehend it. Why? Because you're carnal. I always tell people this is spiritual. Am I lying, Marty? I tell them that if they want to be successful as creditors, it's spiritual. It's a spiritual journey. Let's get 1 John 4, verse 2 through 3.
Book of 1 John, chapter 4, verse 2 through 3. Hereby know ye the spirit of the Elohim. Every spirit that confesses that Yahushua Mashiach is come in the flesh is of the Elohim, supreme Elohim. And every spirit that confesseth not Yahushua Mashiach is come in the flesh is not of the supreme Elohim. And this is the spirit of Antichrist,
Come on.
whereof ye have heard that it should come, and even now already is it in the world.
Con. So when Yahweh said that the first Adam was good, it was a man, as if a man declares it was very good when he sees the foundation is complete and ready for the building. But I want you to take note also that Yahweh sees the end from the beginning and knew that in the end there would be a man in his exact image. The first Adam was just the beginning of Yahweh's building, of his house. Do you understand? He sees the end from the beginning. Let's get it. You read it before. Let's get Yeshaya 46, verse 10. Isaiah 46, verse 10. See, the Most High knows what's going on in your hearts, man. A lot of you hate on your brother, Grandmaster Jay. You're glad he got arrested. You know why? Because your heart is wicked, man. Your heart is off. Your heart is off, man. When I say your heart, I'm talking about your mind.
God. Book of Yeshaya, chapter 46, verse 10. Declaring the end from the beginning.
See that?
And from ancient times, the things that are not yet done.
Come on. From there, let's get Genesis 2, verse 7. Bereshit 2, verse 7.
Book of Bereshit, Genesis chapter 2, verse 7. And the supreme Elohim Yahweh formed man of the dust of the ground.
See that?
And breathed into his nostrils the breath of life.
Mm-hmm.
And man became a living soul.
Now let's go back over to 1 Corinthians 15 and 45. Let's see if we can find that in the so-called New Testament simplified.
Book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 15, verse 45. And so it is written, the first man, Adam, was made a living soul.
See that? The first Adam was made a living soul. Watch this. Watch this. Read.
The last Adam was made a quickening spirit.
See that? See that? See, the first man was made a living soul, while the last man was made a quickening spirit. So we can now add that our graphic illustration, quickening in the original Greek means make alive, to give life. See, the last Adam can impart life to others because he is an exact copy of the Father. Can you create spirits? Let me ask you a question, Marty. Can you create spirits? You can, Marty. When you impregnate your wife, there's a physical body that grows, but doesn't that baby have a spirit? That's your spirit. That's what we try to explain to people, man, and they don't get it. When a man ejaculates on a woman, that's his seed, and that seed grows to the first Adam, but it also becomes a second Adam because that spirit is dead. So we can reproduce spirits, but angels can't. That's the advantage that man has over an angel. A man can reproduce a spirit.
Makes sense.
See that? See, the last Adam can impart life because he's the exact copy of the Father. He's one with the Father. That's you when you walking in the spirit of Hamashiach Yahushua. Both Adams were sons of Yahweh, as mentioned. Let's get the book of Luke. Scripture said to prove all things. I could prove it. Let's get the book of Luke 3, verse 38. Then John 20 and 31.
Book of Luke, chapter 3, verse 38.
So if you got the spirit of the Most High, how you hating on your brother, man? You don't agree with him, but if you got some disagreement with your brother, go to him in private. It's a difference in speaking about his tactics than denouncing him as a person before the enemy. Because the enemy has a plan for all of us. Go ahead, King.
Book of Luke, Luke 3 and 38. Which was the son of Enos, which was the son of Seth, which was the son of Adam, which was the son of Yahweh.
Come on. Someone get that John 20 and 31?
Come on. Book of Yachanan, John chapter 20, verse 31. But these are written that ye might believe that Yahweh Shai is the Christ,
See that?
the Son of Yah,
Mm-hmm.
and that believing ye might have life through his name.
Come on. So the first Adam was from the earth, the natural man, the living soul. The last Adam from the spiritual seed was a spiritual man, life-giving spirit, as stated in the book of Matthew 1 verse 20. So Yahweh spoke that he was well pleased with his last Adam, son, Yahushua. He spoke this when Yahushua was baptized in the water in the Ruach HaKadosh, the Holy Spirit, at the beginning of his ministry. Let's get it. Matthew 3 and 17. And again at the end of his ministry in Matthew 17, verse 5. This is 3.5 years later, right before the crucifixion.
The book of Matthew, chapter 3, verse 17.
I ask you, if you have the spirit of the last Adam on you, why are you hating on your brother without the facts? And we could say anything. We could make suggestive statements. Is Grandmaster Jay really an agent? If you don't have actual facts on that, should you be speaking that? Is that not defamation of his character if that's not true? Go ahead, King.
Book of Matthew, chapter 3, verse 17.
We love to tear each other down, Yashabim. We love it. But when it comes to building each other up, where are they at? We love to destroy each other, man, and ridicule each other.
Come on.
Pray for the brother. Go ahead, King.
Matthew 3 and 17. And lo, a voice from heaven, Shemayim, saying, This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased.
Come on.
And you said 4, verse 5?
No, Matthew 17, verse 5.
17, 5. Book of Matthew, chapter 17, verse 5. While he yet spake, behold, a bright cloud overshadowed them. And behold, a voice out of the cloud which said, This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased.
Come on.
Hear ye him.
See that? This was 3.5 years later, right before the crucifixion. Now, during these 3.5 years, Yahweh Shah had the full measure of the Ruach HaKadosh upon him. And I can prove it. Let's get Yachanan, John 3 and 34. The Holy Spirit did miracles through him, for he was the spirit in the flesh. Yahweh was well pleased with him. We just read it. This was declared when Yahweh Shah began to walk in the spirit. Then confirmed. It was confirmed when he had faithfully completed that walk.
Okay, Yakanan, chapter 3, verse 34. For he whom Yah hath sent speaketh the words of Yah.
See that?
For Yahweh giveth not the Spirit by measure unto him.
Mm-hmm. Read on. Verse 35.
Come on. Verse 35. The Father loveth the Son, and hath given all things into his hand.
Come on. See that? So he had the full Ruach HaKadosh in him. And so I want you to take note that until Hamashiach was resurrected, his physical body was mortal. He came to earth as a man so man could learn to be like Allahim. It was for this reason that he was born of a woman, the son of man, the son of Adam, so that he could die. They couldn't kill the spirit, but they could kill the flesh. Let's get that. Yakanan 15, verse 13. Are you willing to lay down your life for Tazadak? Are you willing to lay down your life for Yashabin? Are you willing to lay down your life for Benaiah? There's no greater love than that. All of you that was following Grandmaster Jay, are you willing to lay down your life for your brother? You talk. George Appin talk of intent, but are you willing to lay down your life? If not, you don't have the love of the Most High in you. You just think you do. Just proclaim it with your lips. And he told us about his people. He said, these people draw near to me with their lips, but their hearts are far from me.
John Yakanan. Oh, slow.
Now, go ahead. 15 and 13.
Book of Yakanan, chapter 15, verse 13. Greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends.
See that? How many of you are willing to do that? There's no greater love than that. There's no greater love than that. The first Adam created from the earth was the natural man, living soul, mortal body. It's corruptible. 1 Corinthians 15, 53 and 54. The last Adam from the spirit, the spiritual seed, the son of Yahweh, spiritual man, life-giving spirit, born of a woman with a mortal body, son of man. So you had the baby Yahushua, and for 30 years. Then you had Yahushua the Lamb for 3.5 years. Then you had the resurrection. Then you had Yahushua the Lion. It's 1 Timothy 1 and 17.
Book of 1 Timothy, chapter 1, verse 17. Now, unto the King eternal, immortal, invisible, the only wise Elohim, be honor and glory forever and ever. Amen.
See that? See, Yahushua was not born perfect, but was made perfect. He learned obedience by things that he suffered, as shown in, let me tell you something, man. When he went into the garden and he was praying, he kind of doubted the Most High. You can't even call me a liar. It said he was sweating so hard, Yashabim, it looks like blood was coming off of him.
God.
Remember, there was something very significant that he said. He said, Father, if thou can, take this cup away from me. He was talking about death, man. So even he doubted the Most High for a second. Then he corrected that. He said, nevertheless, not my will, but thy will be done. Let thy will be done, let thy will be done. I've always got a song called that. Let thy will be done, let thy will be done. Not my will, but thy will be done. You understand? You understand? He learned obedience by the things that he suffered as shown. Let's get it. Luke 2:52. Let's get Luke 2:52, and then someone get me the book of Hebrews 5:8-9. We're gonna prove all things, man.
Book of Luke, chapter 2, verse 52. And Yahushua increased in wisdom and stature.
See that? He didn't always have that wisdom. He increased in wisdom and in stature. Read on.
And in favor with the Elohim and man.
See that? He increased in favor with the Most High and man. He didn't always have that. You can't even call me a liar. Israelites will tell you he always had that, but they can't prove it with scripture. From there, let's go to the book of Hebrews 8 and 9. He had the spirit of Yahweh on him, but he's not Yahweh. Okay. Hebrews 5:8-9. Let's prove it.
Book of Hebrews, chapter 5, verse 8-9. Though he were a son, yet learned he obedience.
He done what? Oh, what did you do, Benaiah?
Yet learned he obedience.
So he can't be Yahweh. If you learn in obedience, you can't be the Most High that's perfect. Oh, I know Christians don't like this one, man. A lot of you Israelites don't either, man. But the scriptures are very clear. He learned obedience. So when he was in the flesh, he was not perfect. That proves it. If you got to learn something, Yashabin, that means you wasn't perfected in the flesh.
Exactly.
Stop me where I'm lying at. Go ahead, read on, King.
Yet learned he obedience by the things which he suffered.
By the things which, don't we learn when we suffer? What did I always tell people? You learn when you make mistakes. When you fall, if you get back up. Hamashiach learned that. See, until his death, Hamashiach was corruptible in that he could have chose to disobey. Just like the angels could have. And was the first Adam. But was Yahushua, he was faithful until the end. Until his death on the crux, on the stake. And I could prove it. Book of Hebrews 2:17-18. He was made just like his brothers. Like you and I. You think only he is just the son? And all you Negroes go free? Nah, man. There was a cross for him, and there's a cross for me and you. And unless you pick up your cross and carry that thing, you might not make it. You think just he bear the cross alone? No. Go ahead, brother.
Book of Hebrews, chapter 2, verse 17-18. Wherefore in all things it behooved him to be made like unto his brethren, that he might be
made like unto his brethren. Read.
That he might be a merciful and faithful high priest in things pertaining to Yah, to make reconciliation for the sins of the people.
See that?
Verse 18.
That is good. Yeah, go ahead and read 18. Go ahead and read 18.
Come on. For in that he himself has suffered being tempted.
See that? He was tempted. Let me ask you something, man. Why would Satan take him up on the top of a mountain and try to tempt him unless he didn't have the ability to be tempted, Yashabin?
One of those things that make you think. It's one of those things that make you think.
The tempter never came to the Most High and tried to tempt the Most High. He said to the Most High in Job, if you take that web from around him, if you take that protection from around him, he was sent. He didn't try and tempt the Most High because the Most High created him. Shabbat Shalom. Shana. So the term Christ, since this is a very important concept to comprehend, Christ is a Greek term for the Hebrew word Messiah. I'm going to say that again. Christ is the Greek word for the Hebrew word Messiah. Both words mean anointed one. Anointed one. This means someone who is concentrated, set apart from the common to be like a king or a priest in Yahweh's service. See, the prophecies, especially in the book of Daniel and Isaiah, indicate that the Messiah is the promised seed of Adam. And then Abraham, then David, who will set creation free from the depths as shown in the book of Genesis 3 and 15. Someone get Genesis 3 and 15. That brought death into the world. Eve brought death into the world. First Adam was the mortal body. The last Adam, so Mashiach Yahweh Shah, the spirit, the Christ. Go ahead. Someone got that?
Book of Bereshit, Genesis chapter 3, verse 15. And I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel.
JB Law, I don't understand the nature of your question. We're trying to get this spiritual message out. After we get this message out, we'll entertain your questions. But again, Grandmaster Jay is our brother, and we love him. Though we never agree with his tactics, this is not the time to put your brother down. It's the time to extend a hand and try to lift him up, unless he's against us, which at this point, no one really have any proof of. So this is not a platform to come on and belittle and denounce NFAC members. Because if you're moving in the right spirit, you will comprehend that they and us, we have the same objective, though maybe not spiritually, but we have that primary objective, and that's freedom. Something that was actually granted to us by our Creator. And we may have different avenues of getting there, but if the objective is the same, let us concentrate on the objective and not the path that we're using to get there. So Hamashiach as the Christ is an express image of Yahweh. Let's get that again, man. Hebrews 1 and 3. See, his position as Christ was prophesied in the book of Luke. Someone get the book of Hebrews 1 and 3, and someone get the book of Luke 2, 25 to 32.
I got Hebrews 1 and 3.
It's prophesied when Hamashiach was a baby.
Book of Hebrews, chapter 1, verse 30, verse 1. Salakia, chapter 1, verse 3. Who being the brightness of his glory and the express image of his person, and upholding all things by the word of his power,
See that?
when he had by himself purged our sins,
See that?
sat down on the right hand of the majesty on high.
Come on. Someone got Lucas? Come, it's just you and Benaiah reading, man. No one else is in here. Let me see, man. Nope. Israel's not in here. Go ahead, King.
You said Book of Luke, chapter 2?
2 and 25 through 32.
Come on.
Looks like Zadok fell out also. It's a trying time, man. It's a trying time.
Book of Lucas. Luke, chapter 2, verse 25. And behold, there was a man in Jerusalem whose name was Simeon.
Mm-hmm.
And the same man was just and devout, waiting for the consolation of Yashar Allah, and the Holy Spirit was upon him.
See that?
Verse 26. And it was revealed unto him by the Holy Spirit that he should not see death before he had seen the Hamashiach Yahweh Shai.
See that?
Verse 27. And he came by the Spirit, the Ruh, into the temple. And when the parents brought in the child, Yahweh Shai, to do for him after the custom of the law. Verse 28. Then took he him up in his arms and blessed Yah and said, 29. Yahweh, now lettest thou thy servant depart in peace according to thy word. Verse 30. For mine eyes have seen thy salvation.
See that? See that he's testifying that he knew that this baby, now Hamashiach's the baby now, he knew that this baby was a savior. It was prophesied right here. Read on.
Verse 31. Which thou hast prepared before the face of all people.
See that? Before the face of all people. Israelites will tell you that's just for all Israel. We're going to have to stop twisting the scriptures, man. All nations, people from all nations are going to make it into Shemayim, man. So stop with your lies and hate. Stop the lying and hate. Go ahead, King.
Verse 32. A light to lighten the Gentiles.
See that?
And
to lighten who? You know what Israelites will tell you? Those are Israelites in a Gentile state of mind. It's talking about the other Gentiles as well. Read on.
A light to lighten the Gentiles and the glory of thy people, Yashar Allah.
You see that? The Gentiles were already our people. The Israelites in a Gentile state of mind. So this has to be talking about the other Gentiles. So stop lying, man. Stop lying to our people, man. So he was empowered as Christ. But a lot of our people, man, they love to preach hate. Let's go back to our comparisons of these two Adams. Then expand upon their differences. And this time, we're going to focus on each in their maturity. Because many of you, you're stuck in the first Adam. We'll look at the first Adam after his fall and the last Adam after the resurrection of Christ. And so we will add the words death and life because the first Adam has a mortal body, destined to die. That's your storm here right there. Corporate construct. Let's get the book of Hebrews 9:27. The second Adam lives forever, filled with immortality. Meanwhile, the last Adam is no longer subject to death, but is the life-giving spirit.
Book of Hebrews, chapter 9, verse 27. And as it is appointed unto men once to die, but after this, the judgment.
See that? Now, the first Adam was fallen. That's fallen man. Created from the earth. That's the natural man. That's the living soul. That's the mortal body that's corruptible. That's death. That's carnal. That's carnally minded. To be carnally minded, Paul says, is death. That's darkness. This is why you're hating on your brother right now, man. This is why you're hating on your brother right now. But the last Adam, that's the spirit of Hamashiach, Yahweh Shah. That's risen. That's the Christ. From the spiritual seed, the son of Yahweh. That's a spiritual man, the life-giving spirit, immortal body, incorruptible. It's life and it's peace. It's spiritual. It's the mind of Christ. It's the light. The first Adam is darkness. See our problem, Brother Nico? Too many people are stuck in the first Adam, and they can't get away from it. They're carnal. Most of you are carnal as hell. Carnal in Greek means ungenerated, pertaining to the flesh. And since each seed reproduces after its own kind, let's get that. Genesis 1 and 12. Each seed reproduces after its own kind. All of these and all of those that descend from the first Adam are of his nature. This is why you're hating on each other right now. You coming on here, you've been on our platform arguing. Can anything good come out of Nazareth? Yashabin? Can anything good come out of Nazareth? That's how they look at us. They say, isn't that Yahweh Shah Nazareth? Huh. Can anything good come out of Nazareth? You should be waiting. You should be saying, wait until you see come out of this Nazareth. But you're not doing that. You're tearing each other down.
Book of Better Shit, chapter 1, verse 12. And the earth brought forth grass, and herb yielding seed after his kind.
See that? See that? So if you're wicked, so it is with your children. You stuck in the nature of that first Adam, the only thing you're going to produce is wickedness. When you send out a vibration, that's what you're going to get back in, wickedness. You're giving thumbs down, you're throwing around a lot of hate, that's all you get back. Yeah, David got in his feelings last night. That's the only thing he's going to get back. He's going to get that back from someone else, man. You're dealing with men of the Most High, man. So you can humble yourself or keep it moving. See, all those found in the first Adam are said to be fleshly nature. Not all that different from the beasts of the earth, since they were made from the earth. You understand? Some of you have gotten lower than the beasts. I tell you, Israel, some of them got so damn low, they're lower than the earth one. See, both men and beasts tend to be focused on their needs. They come to me, I'll toss it out. Let me get this. Let me get that. They're focused on their needs. They don't care about their brother, especially their bellies. And don't think much about Yahweh. Let's get Philippians 3:18 through 19. You better change your thinking, man. You better change your heart. See, being totally focused on the earthly affairs, the natural life is called being earthly minded or being worldly. You're worldly, which is another way of saying you're carnally minded. Scriptures say to be carnally minded is death. Doing what comes natural. That's a natural thing. See, that's a flesh. That's the man of the flesh. That's flesh nature. It may seem harmless. Look at how women dress. They style themselves like whores, man. We got to tell the truth, man. We don't care who doesn't like it. Sis, you got to stop dressing like whores. We don't want you coming around us with your cleavage out. I don't want to see your breasts. I'm not no damn baby. I don't want your milk. I don't even do dairy. But they showing their breasts, Benaiah. Breasts pushed together so damn tight, Yashabin, with a shirt that they know is displaying it. They make it look like two butt cheeks on their chest. And stop me where I'm lying at. See, we got to clean up all of that, man. These are the people of the flesh, man. That's who you see on IG. That's who you see on TikTok. Those are uncivilized people, man. But you know what? The world make them think that that's liberation. That's death, man. Those are people of the flesh. And unless they repent and change, they will not make it. Let's get that Philippians 3:18 through 19, man. It's carnally minded, man. It's death. Paul told you that in the book of Romans.
Book of Philippians, chapter 3, verse 18 and 19. For many walk, of whom I have told you often, and now tell you, even weekly, that they are the enemies of the cross of a Mashiach, whose end is destruction.
See, that their end is destruction, man. You're always coming against us to try and teach the truth, man. You get in your feelings and all of that, man. Someone tell you something, you know you need to hear it, man. There's a time and a season for everything, man. Go ahead, King.
Whose Elohim is their belly.
See, your power, your God, as you call it, is your belly. And you're fat, but you don't even want to hear that. Oh, I'm just a little big boned. And you hang around the people that don't want to tell you that you got a problem. You got an eating disorder. Let me tell you something, man. You got people that are paid personal trainers that try and lose weight and all that, and they could do it them damn selves. You understand what I'm saying? But they're not willing to sacrifice their desires. See, first thing you got to train is your mind. Get your mind right, King. Because you could train a body, but if you haven't trained your mind to discipline yourself to put good nourishment and stop putting bad food into your body, then you're wasting your time. Am I lying, General Yashabi?
Well, nothing but the truth.
You're wasting your time, man. You don't have that much time, man. See, when man ate, when he took from that tree of life from that woman, he listened to that woman, and he ate from that tree of the knowledge of good and evil, he acquired that nature, that fleshly nature, which was to try to determine his own destiny. Oh, I'm God. 5% is peace, God. You degenerate to a beast in human form. You're following science. You're not spiritual. You could talk to me on a carnal level, but when I start talking spiritual, you tell me I'm spooky. See, you say, oh, I'll make my own decisions to do it his way and be the ruler of his life apart from the Most High in Christ. See, it is a mindset of being opposed to going Yahweh's way. It's in contrast. To eat of the tree of life will be to partake of Christ, which ends in life. Let's get Romans 8, 5 through 6. Romans 8, 5 through 6. Looks like someone just came back in the room. Hey, shalom, family. Who's this? Megan Thawah. Know who that is? Anyone knows who that is?
Malachi.
All right. Malachi's late. He missed the entire message.
I was watching, but I couldn't get on the camera.
Yeah, I sent you the link.
You got that, Benaniah?
Romans 8, 7 through 8.
Come. Book of Romans. Oh yeah, come. Book of Romans, Romaeus, chapter 8, verse 7 through 8. Because the carnal mind is enmity against Yah.
Stop. Salaki. Enmity in the Greek means opposition. It means hate. So all of you out there that's carnally minded, all you're thinking about is your flesh, you hate the Most High and his son. You could also look at Yachanan. Someone get Yachanan, 1 Yachanan 1, 5 through 7. Finish that out, Benai. 1 John 1, 5 through 7. To see that the first Adam's nature is darkness. This is why the good brother Malachi had the problem with the people that he had over there. They recite precepts and all of that, but they're stuck on the first Adam. They're not spiritual men. Because spiritual men wouldn't have done that. They're stuck in the first Adam. They're carnally minded. Finish
Huh.
that up.
For it is not subject to the law of Yah, neither indeed can be. Verse 8. So then they that are in the flesh cannot please Yah.
So they always worried about the appearance, how they look. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with looking okay, but they're satisfying their bellies, their flesh. So I want this, I want that, I want that. What about your soul? What about your spirit? You can't please the Most High. Read. That's the first Adam right there. That's the first Adam nature. He cannot please Yahweh. Can't please the Most High, man. Can't please him. Get 1 John 1, 5 through 7.
Book of 1 John, chapter 1, verse 5 through 7. This then is the message which we have heard of him and declared unto you, that Yah is light, and in him is no darkness at all.
See that? So if you got the spirit of a Mashiach in you, that means you're not sinning. There's no darkness in him. The first Adam is darkness. The second Adam is a light, because that's the spirit of a Mashiach. There's no darkness in him, man. Let's get Romans 1 and 20. And someone gets Psalms 19, verse 1 through 6 by David the Psalmist.
Look at Romans chapter 1, verse 20. For the invisible things of him from the creation of the world are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power and Godhead, so that they are without excuse.
See that? Let's get Psalms by David the Psalmist, chapter 19, verse 1 through 6. See, the Most High not only uses people, but also things, places, and events, and what they refer to as the Old Testaments, as examples of spiritual truths.
Book of Psalms, chapter 19, verse 1 through 6. The heavens declared the glory of Yah, and the firmament showeth his handiwork. Day unto day uttereth speech, and night unto night showeth knowledge. There is no speech nor language where their voice is not heard.
See that?
Their line is gone out.
Yeah, a lot of you, your light has gone out. A lot of you, your lamps have gone out. You're in darkness, in other words. You're stuck in the body of the first Adam, and you're warring against the man of the spirit. You're carnal. You're worldly. Read on.
And their words to the end of the world. In them hath he set a tabernacle for the sun. Verse 5. Which is as a bridegroom coming out of his chamber, and rejoiceth as a strong man to run a race.
Come on.
6. His goings forth is from the end of the heaven, and his circuit unto the ends of it. And there is nothing hid from the heat thereof.
Come on. So, I mean, I'm gonna tell you something, man. I'm gonna reiterate, the Most High not only uses people, but he uses things, he uses places and events, and what they refer to as the Old Testaments as examples of spiritual truths. And I could prove it. Let's get the book of 1 Corinthians 10 and 11 and Colossians 2 and 17. 1 Corinthians 10 and 11 and Colossians 2 and 17. Some of you, you need to humble yourselves, man. You don't like righteous rebuke. You get all bent out of shape, man. The very thing that you need, you resist.
Book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 10, verse 11. Now all these things happened unto them for ensamples, and they are written for our admonition, upon whom the ends of the world are come.
Come on. So understanding this concept is very, very important, right? To see beyond the literal, the natural understanding of the carnal mind when reading the Bible. And as we go a little deeper, we're almost at the end of this lesson, but as we go deeper into this lesson, without the mind of Christ, you will miss the vital truths and you will misinterpret much of what you read in the Bible. This is what a lot of people do, man. This is why they throw around so much hate. I'm going to give you some contrasting things that people contrast in the Bible all of the time. Contrasting people of the Bible who represent the two natures. Cain and Abel. The first, Cain represented the first Adam. Abel represented the spiritual man, the last Adam. Hagar represented the first Adam. Sarah represented the last Adam, spiritual. Ishmael, the Muslims follow, represented the first Adam. But Isaac, the chosen seed, represented the last Adam. Esau represents the first Adam. But Jacob, Israel, Yasha'Allah, represents the spiritual nature of Adam. Pharaoh, first Adam. Moses, last Adam. The 10 spies, first Adam. Caleb and Joshua, the last Adam. Oprah, first Adam. Ruth, the last Adam. King Saul, he was like the first Adam. But King David, the last Adam, though he sinned, he was like the last Adam. See, the tree of knowledge of good and evil has some fruits that look very good and some that look very bad. But every fruit has a serpent inside of it. I want you to think, brothers, I need you to hear me. When you're going out and you're choosing these Eves out here, a lot of these Eves look very good. But every fruit has a serpent inside it. The bad side of good comes out of the heart sooner than later. We saw that in you last night, David. Can't even stop me where I'm lying. See, the bad side of good always come out sooner or later. Yahweh Shah said that there were none that were truly good. I can't make this up. Someone give me the book of Romans 3. Romans 3:10. And someone give me the book of Matthew 19, verse 17. Matthew 19, verse 17, and Romans 3:10.
Book of Romans.
See, all of us got bad in us, man. But when you get the spirit of a Mashiach truly in you, man, you don't have darkness in you anymore. This is how I know a lot of you are lying. The spirit of the Most High in Christ is not in you. Otherwise, you would move differently. You would treat your brothers and sisters differently. You will build them up and not tear them down unless you're giving them righteous rebuke. Go ahead, Yasha, being pardoned.
Book of Romans, chapter 3, verse 10. As it is written, there is none righteous, no, not one.
See that? See, all the fruit look good, even the good ones, they got bad in them. You got to purge that. Get rid of that first Adam. Book of Matthew 19:17. A lot of you stuck in the first Adam, man. You're stuck, man. That turbulence, man. That turbulence is destroying and pushing out the spiritual Adam. You don't have the spirit of Christ in you anymore. So you're a dead soul. You're just a corporate construct.
Book of Matthew, chapter 19, verse 17. And he said unto him, why callest thou me good? There is none good but one, that is Yah.
See that? So the only tree that bears truly good fruit is the tree of life, which represents Yahweh Shah. See, those in the first Adam cannot change their nature. This is why we had people on her arguing earlier, man. They may be able to change their behavior somewhat, but not their nature. It always comes back out and shows itself, man. Only Yahweh can bring us out of darkness into the light. See, without Yahweh's intervention, the natural man just does what comes naturally, resulting in vanity. Oh, who did he think he is? Talking to me like, don't you talk to me like that. Don't you talk to me like that. See, that's vanity, man. Vain. Who do you think you is? I'm elder so-and-so. Okay, well, Roger that. Christ was a boy when he was teaching the elders. He was 12 years old when he was teaching in a synagogue in Jerusalem. His mother and father, when a day's passed away, when a day's journey away, and they came back looking for him. They said, well, we've been looking for you all over. What did Hamashiach saying? I'm paraphrasing. 12-year-old Hamashiach say, you should have known I'm doing my father's work. He wasn't talking about his father, Joseph. He was talking about his real father, Yahweh. See, without Yahweh's intervention, the natural man just does what comes naturally, resulting in vanity. There is hope. There's hope, though. See, Yahweh takes notice of us out of love and draws us to him. 1 John 4:19. Someone get that. 1 Yachanan 4 verse 19. He first loved us, man. That's why you should love him, but some of you don't. You're hypocrites.
Book of 1 Yachanan, chapter 4, verse 19. We love him because he loved us, because he first loved us.
Come on. So besides of spiritual truth, the Bible also has many places where there are layers of truth, wills within wills. Just as there are people who contrast as being the first Adam and in the last Adam, the deeper truth is that all of those found in the last Adam, spirit of Hamashiach, were first found in the first Adam. Each person is called to strip themselves of their former nature and put on a new nature. This is why Hamashiach say, unless a man is born again, he cannot enter the kingdom. This is not changing the bad behavior to good behavior, but leaving one nature and acquiring another. And this is where most people get stuck, man. You just think you could change your behavior. No, you got to change the nature. See, not only does this translation from one kingdom to another kingdom happens through a process, but as long as a person is in a mortal body, that person is capable of shifting back and forth between the two natures. Our fourth salvation comes with the resurrection of our bodies. Let's prove that. Ephesians 4:22 through 24.
Book of Ephesians, chapter 4, verse 22.
See that? You see what Christine put in the room?
God.
You think the United Nations can save us, man? Our people are lost, man. She think that the United Nations can save us. why would you want to take your case to the enemy, your case to the criminal? Go ahead, man. Read.
Ephesos, chapter 4, verse 22. That ye put off concerning the former conversation of the old man, which is corrupt according to the deceitful lust, and be renewed in the spirit of your mind, that ye put on the new man, which after Yah is created in righteousness and true holiness.
Come. Now, let me give you some examples in the Bible. Let's prove what that scripture is talking about. Now, when people change their true nature from the old Adam to the new Adam, the Most High allowed them to change their name. They became a new person, a new name. See, name in the Bible typically refers to nature. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Jacob, the first Adam, right? I was in the fleshly nature. When he became the last Adam, he became Israel. Yasha Allah. When he was Jacob, he was a grabber. When he was Israel, he will rule as Yahweh. Saul, the Pharisee, means like ditch, death. But when he became Paul, the apostle, he became like the second Adam. See, Jacob's nature changed dramatically once it was proven that he would not let go of Yahweh's angel when going through his trials. His walk was never the same after that. He was given a new name to reflect a new nature. Paul said in the book of 1 Corinthians, someone get 1 Corinthians 15, verse 9, that he was the least of the apostles. He was from the tribe of Benjamin, which was the smallest tribe, by the way. See, many promises are given to the tribe of Benjamin, but most of them are hidden in types of shadows. As for Saul, he was a man of the Most High, but operated in the carnal mind when he was Saul. He knew a lot about Yahweh, but did not know Yahweh until he brought him into the light. See, Yahweh translates us from the kingdom of darkness into the kingdom of the light, life, and love because of the redemptive work of his beloved son, Hamashiach Yahweh Shah. Someone got that 1 Corinthians 15, verse 9? And someone get Colossians 1, verse 12 through 15. And we're going to end it on that.
Book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 15, verse 9. For I am the least of the apostles, that am not meet to be called an apostle.
See that?
Because I persecuted the church of Yah.
See that? See, Apostle Paul was being honest. I see you made it back in, Benaiah. We got one more precept. That last precept. Colossians 1, 12 through 15. Colossians 1 and 12 through 15. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to click on the link. We're going to open it up. Anyone that would like to come in and speak on the subject, you can, about the good brother, Grandmaster Jay. Again, though we never agree with the brother's tactics, we don't wish any bad or harm to come to our brother. Because keep in mind, they will use the same methodology against you. Someone got that last precept?
Oh, go ahead, Bernard.
Con. Book of Colossians, chapter 1. You said 12?
Go ahead, read it,
12 through 15. Salaki, I just got that. Chapter 1, verse 12 through 15. giving thanks unto the Father, which hath made us meet to be partakers of the inheritance of the saints in light. Select. Verse 13. Who hath delivered us from the power of darkness, and hath translated us into the kingdom of his dear Son. Verse 14. In whom we have redemption through his blood, even the forgiveness of sins. Verse 15. Who is the image of the invisible Yah, the firstborn of every creature.
It's the second Adam right there. It's the last Adam. It's the last Adam right there. And so with that, I put the link in the room. Anyone that want to come in the room and speak on the topic about the good brother Jam Master Jay, you could do so. NFAC, you could do so. But again, this message is not about tearing brothers and sisters down. It's about seeing, the right thing and doing the right thing in the right time. Some of you, I don't think you realize how deep the programming goes. We're programmed to dislike each other, to fight against each other, to come up against each other. But you got to know when it is appropriate to speak about against another brother or sister and when it's not. So,
well, I was going to say, if no one else is bringing anything out, just go ahead, reference.
No, there's Terrence right there.
Okay.
You're Terrence, you put out some bad information because you said that he was arrested with no bond, and I found that not to be true because he's out. Anyone that got anything, you could come on in the room. Marty, you got anything, King? Over Marty, you got anything you want to say?
No, I just the brother Grandmaster Jay. I hope him the best. If his intentions was for the people, and we follow the same agenda, so to speak, in some ways, I want to say that I support him in the right and truthful, and I will always support our brothers and sisters that are trying to uplift us. So I'm just saying that some of us, don't be afraid to speak up and stuff and support the brother, because if what the Khan was saying, you have to use your own mind and say that some of these things seem logical to you until we have conclusive information. You notice this platform here is all about the truth and bringing you truth and wisdom, no matter who it cuts. If it cuts one of us, we have to, deal with that. I mean, we all have, because that's all we really have between us is the truth and honor that we share. Because just think about it. What use is it even talking to another person if they're not talking something that you can actually relate to? And most of our people right now are lost because they don't know the truth. In order to communicate, you have to have a pretty good idea of what you're up against to make an intelligent response to it. So it's become increasingly difficult for us to deal with people that don't understand the things that we do. But the whole point is to give you the opportunity to make, real rational decisions for yourself, so you can do the things that you need to do to get where you need to get. Because all of this is about something that's time-based, and we don't have a lot of time. So, I support the Grandmaster Jay. If he is truly out to do the things that are important to us, why wouldn't I? That's all I got.
Yeah, Sean Johnson, can you come in the room? Sean Johnson, you got something to say? You can come on in the room, brother.
Say tops.
Yeah, what's going on?
That part, I seen the video yesterday, but I just didn't look at it. I looked at it today, so I was a little late. But from what was said on another video, he did get out. That video I didn't see, but after he got out, maybe 2.5 hours later, the state picked him right back up. So according to the Times, he's still in jail. He got out, the feds let him out, and the state picked him right back up. I'm not hating on the brother. This just, I guess, was what happened. Because what he does, when it rains on his house, most likely it's gonna rain on mine. So I'm mentally prepared, but this is what happened. He's back in jail, but he's in the state. I think, is the word right? Reckless endangerment. Is that a correct statement? So that's what they got him on.
Okay, but this is we don't know. We only know what the media is actually really putting out there. But this is what I'm saying, man, that people need to be extremely careful about, right? Certain people are saying he's an agent. We say we've shown videos in the past that he flashed certain signs that could relate him to that. And most of these was pictures. And what I know is pictures could actually be doctored and altered. I'm not saying that that's actually what happened, but you got people out there that do that. You got people out there right now doctoring images and saying that Kamala here is a man. You see what I'm saying? You got Edomites doing stuff like that. You have all kind of people out here that they just live to create deception. And some people, they fall for the first thing that they hear and they say, and they take and they run with it. But what I don't consent to is that how our people are so quick. Oh yeah, so and so got arrested, as if it's something to celebrate. You see what I'm saying? Because that could actually be either one of us, right? And so, what if it was you in that situation? Would you want that to be celebrating? Because I don't know if he was sincere. I don't know him personally. It's just his tactics I didn't agree with, sending untrained people out there. Now, whether he's an agent or something, I don't know. I can't speak on that. I don't have facts on that. We played certain videos in the past that he's affiliated with certain people. He was performing security at Trump rallies and so on and so forth. But at the end of the day, as I previously stated, that is my brother and I love him. And if we're going to speak ill about him, we need to do that in private in his presence. Now, speaking about his tactics or his military maneuvers is a whole different thing. We said that we don't agree with that and someone would actually get hurt, and someone did. But as far as speaking out and attacking his person, I don't agree with that, man. I don't think we should actually be attacking each other like that and celebrating each other. Celebrating when something happens to one of us. We should actually be trying to lift each other up. The enemy does that. The enemy, even when the enemy disagrees, they will support each other. They settle the differences in the closet. We air out our differences, and everybody look down on us, and they make mockery of us. And we have to rise, above all of this, man. We got to rise above all of this.
Okay.
Again, the brother in the room, anyone that wants to come in and speak, you can. Sean Jones, it seems like you have something to say. Come on in the room, speak. There's no reason to hide behind your keyboard. This is not the time for keyboard rangers. Be very transparent. If you say something, at least be a man or a woman about it.
Hey, Shalom, can I be heard?
Yes.
All right, so Shalom to everybody on the panel. Shalom to us. So I just want to address because I was going back and forth between some people in the chat room, and I'm not really with that, so I'm here to voice what needs to be said. So people are saying that I'm tearing the brother down and that I'm hating on the brother. In fact, when I heard about the situation about him getting arrested and coming out, I honestly sat in the background and I said, let me just see how this situation plays out before I say anything. The only reason I'm addressing it now is because your video came up. And yes, I said he was an agent. But you know what? Let me take that back because you addressed that already. You know what I'm saying? Anybody could say anybody's an agent and people are sensitive to that word. But I will say this, proving his own actions and his own admission through his own words, he is very highly suspect, you know what I'm saying, through his tactics, highly suspect, you know what I'm saying? And I can even go as far as saying fraudulent, because the images he's put up of him being a DJ that were doctored, the fact that he was, throwing these Masonic hand gestures, being a security guard for Trump. But what really I say is factually disingenuous is that he said that every one of his soldiers, which you brought it out, TDOC brought it out, saying that they were all expert shooters, military trained, and he got caught in a lie because they got hurt in a rally. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't even hit a target that was 20 yards away with a rifle, and then he's getting our people prepared for warfare. He went to Stone Mountain to exacerbate tension with the Ku Klux Klan, with people that are setting their rifles on the ground. They're not in formation correctly, and even I as a civilian can see stuff like this. That is lining our people up. And when TDOC brought that out, what did they say about your brothers? Said your brothers is hating.
Yeah. They say we was hating and fraud, but I mean, we just ate that because we wasn't attacking the brother's person.
And that's what I'm saying, King. This is all I'm saying. We're in an age now, whether you talk about relationships or a man being a simp or a woman, going off cheating on her husband. Oh, you're bashing. Listen, if y'all Negroes don't stop that foolishness, that gets me extremely irate, because if you see something, whether it be a white person, black person, whatever you want to call it, if you see something that is suspect and you don't call it out, you are complicit to that action. You are guilty to that. So by me saying, I'm not saying I wish anything bad for the brother. I would never wish for him to go to jail. I would never celebrate for that, because that in itself is wicked. Because you don't know what goes on in that prison. You don't know what happens. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, I would never wish for that. But at the same time, his tactics, his methods, the way he goes about things, he got caught in a lie. He would tell the people on his channel, oh, we're going to go and do this, and we're going to go point this at who, da-da-da. And he's getting thousands of views. His videos aren't getting flagged. Meanwhile, Taz is over here. They flagging his channel every single day. He's not getting the type of views that he's getting. He'll tell you, oh, we're dealing with facts over feelings, and the system tries to program you. But if you really pay attention, I'm a lyricist. I'm not bigging myself up or anything. I pay attention to words. I'm very keen on words. He uses neurolinguistic programming to talk to the people, man. And a lot of our people, if you can't see that, chances are you're under some kind of mind control. And it's not to shoot anybody down. It's just stating the truth, stating the facts. And you say, yes, he is our brother according to the flesh. You understand? But just because this is a big mistake that our people made. We made it with Obama. Y'all made it with Kamala Harris. Just because they have your skin does not mean they're your kin. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm not tearing them down, but I'm trying to let people see you gotta start weighing stuff out. Because even Yahushua, look, when Yahushua, he saw in Luke 11, he saw the liars, the lawyers, and he saw the Pharisees. He told them what? He said, woe unto you lawyers. He said, you Pharisees are hypocrites. Was he hating, or was he speaking the truth? You understand? When Yahushua in Matthew 12, verse 46 on down, he was in the temple teaching the people. They said, your mother and brother is out here to see you. He says, who's my mother and brother? He says, those who do the will of my father, my mother and brother. So now you got to ask yourself, yes, he's your brother according to the flesh, but he has this unk on his chain. He got the obelisk, the pyramid with the all-seeing eye in the center, with the wings of Heru, which is an Egyptian deity, you know what I'm saying, as his logo. He got people, walking around that are part of LGBT or whatever their lifestyle is, walking in this movement, calling out Yahweh, which is not his name, by the way. This is all idolatry, man. So, okay, you might say I'm tearing down a brother, but according to the scriptures, we're not supposed to be dealing with none of this. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't wish nothing bad on him. I don't wish death on him. I don't wish him to go to prison. I don't wish none of that. So I'm going to clear the air with that right now. But at the end of the day, if something is off and I don't say it, then I'm off for that. You understand what I'm saying? So with that being said, you know, that's all I really want to say in the matter. And I'm addressing James Day specifically, and I'm addressing Joshua. So if those brothers want to come on, we can have a respectable conversation. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I mean, that old keyboard back and forth, man, I'm just letting you know, man, something is off about that. If you can't see that is suspect, it's because you're not spiritual, man.
Come on. Hey, Benaya, you still there?
Come on.
So let's get Matthew 9, chapter 9, verse 10 through 17. Because obviously we don't agree. We have we're not on the same accord spiritually as him. So then that kind of sets us up as watchmen to try and reach these people. And this is actually all we was really trying to do. Though people took it offensively, we was trying to reach our brother, hoping that, you know, we could, work him up. We even invited him to come on the platform, but it was never an attack. So, as people that's awoken, I mean, if you are awoke, then as Hamashiach, as we went over earlier, you have a responsibility to feed the sheep. If you're all right, you don't need a doctor, right? You don't need a doctor. Let's get it, Benaiah. Because, you know, people try and charge Hamashiach with dealing with people that was wicked. The Pharisees said, or why are you dealing with such and such? But why is your master hanging with tax collectors?
Khan.
Because why?
But also, Yahushai said, not to cut you, King, he said they hated me without cause. Nobody had a reason to hate Yahushai, man. That was just their own personal prejudice. But when you see something, you see these red flags, and then someone gets caught in a lie specifically and deliberately, you know what I'm saying, directly. But Yahushai didn't have that against him, man. They hated him without cause, so they couldn't say nothing. But that's all I want to say, King. Salat.
Book of Matthew, Matthew chapter 9, verse 10. And it came to pass, as Yahushua sat at meat in the house, behold, many publicans, Salaki, many publicans.
Those are your modern day politicians.
Come on. Behold, many publicans and sinners.
So these are like the tax collectors. You understand? Publican and sinners. Read on.
Came and sat down with him and his disciples.
See that? Read on.
Verse 11. And when the Pharisees saw it, they said unto his disciples, why eateth your master with publicans and sinners?
Yeah. So the Pharisees came because they was always trying to get the disciples of Hamashiach. Say, why is your master eating with tax collectors and sinners if he's a righteous man? So they try and trap him up. See, this is what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be going out to people that's not in the right spirit. We're supposed to try and save them. When we try and reach out and when we try and put messages out, they thought we was attacking them, but we was really trying to say, talk to the brother. We don't agree with his tactics. That's all we were saying. Read on.
Verse 12. But when Yahushua heard that, he said unto them, they that be whole need not a physician.
Yeah, I mean, if you're all right, you don't need a doctor. You see what I'm saying? You all right? You don't need a doctor. Read on.
But they that are sick.
They that are what?
They that are sick.
They that are what?
That are sick. So
Hamashiach classified politicians or your tax collectors and all of that and people that sin literally as sick. As sick. Those are the sheep that Hamashiach was telling you to feed. If someone's already righteous, how you going to save them? You got to go out and get the sheep that's sick. He said, feed my sheep. Do you lovest thou me, Peter? If you do, feed my sheep. He asked him 3 times. Well, if you love me, you got to go out and get those that are lost. That's out there. Read on.
Verse 13. But go ye and learn what that meaneth.
So he said, go and learn what that means. because he was always talking in parables to him. Read on.
I will have mercy and not sacrifice.
See that? Wait.
For I am not come to call the righteous.
See that? Now this is important. This is what's really important. So he, if you're all right, you don't need a physician. He said he's not coming to call righteous people. So you might not agree with Grandmaster Jay, but we're supposed to be trying to call him in to the truth. He didn't come to call the righteous. He came to call who? Read on, Benaiah.
For I am not come to call the righteous, but sinners to repentance.
There we go. So we supposed to be trying, hey, you Egyptologist, hey, this is what the scriptures say. We can't force him to say it, but we support, hey, man, this is what it is, man. They don't want to hear it. Hamashiach say you shake the dust on them then. They don't want to hear it. But at least you tried, man. You wash your hands. What verse you on, Benaiah?
That was verse 13.
Read on down to 17.
Come. Then came to him the disciples of Yachanan, John, saying, why do we and the Pharisees fast oft, but thy disciples fast not?
See that?
Verse 15. And Yahushua said unto them, can the children of the bride chamber mourn as long as the bridegroom is with them?
See that? He talking allegorical, man. A lot of people don't get this. Read.
But the day will come when the bridegroom shall be taken from them.
See that?
And then shall they fast.
And that happened. Hey, Shalom, what you got, Melvin? What's going on, brother? What's going on, Melvin? Shalom.
Peace. What's going on, brother?
What's going on, King?
I just came to hear the word. Came to hear y'all.
All right.
What information y'all got today?
All right. Anyone else out there? They got any comment, anything they want to say? Come in the room. Anyone in disagreement, agreement? You're free to come in the room. You don't have to argue behind the keyboards, or what have you. Nephi 8, you could come on in the room if you like. Come on in, good brother. Brother, sister, whoever you may be. Whoever it is, man, you could come on in. Hairstyles on the go. You could come in the room. Sean Jones, you don't need a camera to come in. You could talk through your mic. But anyone that, want to come in, you got anything you want to add, you might be able to add something that may touch someone in a way that you may not even actually imagine. Israel, you got anything? Anyone else out there? Anyone out there in I guess YouTube land? There was a lot of commenting going on when we was going forth with the message, but Warrior Lord, you could come on in. You asked what NFAC is going to do. James, Day, you could come in if you want it, brother. Whoever, man, got something, you're welcome to come in. Vocalize your comments, your responses, not text. Vocalize it so everyone could hear it. What happened to Derek, man?
I'm not sure.
What I was wondering.
What's that?
What I was wondering too, Khan, is that prior to this situation happening, with one of his generals, General Delta, how they broke off. To my understanding, if I'm correct, I don't know exactly, but that was basically his main branch right there. So being that he doesn't have that support as much as he used to, like, is there really going to be members that are really going to be down to support him behind this?
Well, I mean, he still seemed to have a lot of support after that. They used to actually come to our channel. I don't know. Terrence is saying he's back locked up. I would like Zuduk back on here to clarify. Do you know Melvin? Is he locked back up now? Does anyone know the true status of Grandmaster Jay right now? What about it? James Day, is the brother locked back up now? No. I would definitely like to see the footage where they're saying that he pointed, his weapon at 2 federal officers and 3 Metro Police. It's just
Yeah,
extremely difficult for me to
that is
accept
suspect.
that, given the given the past interactions that many of us has actually had with law enforcement. Didn't end well.
Right, right. And another thing I don't want is that allegedly he was, pointing at shooters that are on rooftops. He's at a tactical disadvantage with that. And then secondly, if they were on the rooftops, they had trained shooters on him on the ground. They could have took him out with the quickness. There wouldn't have been no ifs, ands, or buts, man. So that doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense at all. So, I mean, it's not something to rejoice about. You know what I'm saying? That's wicked as hell if you rejoice and see another man locked up. But it's just something that is another questionable act behind the whole situation. It's just questionable. You know what I'm saying? And one thing I learned from you is to question everything. But apparently in this world, when you question everything and you bring out the truth about it, or you ask a question that might be thought-provoking, you're bashing and you're hating. So I guess maybe we're just supposed to just be quiet and dumb up our mouth to appease people who don't want to think critically.
Terrence, how did you confirm that the brother was re-locked up? You have a video or something on that showing that?
Yes, I sent it to you. Check your phone. Check your
Oh
communication
yeah.
device.
I don't.
I sent
Can you
it to you.
post it here so we could share it?
Man, I'm not that technical savvy. Only
sent
thing
the
I
link
can
to
do
my
is
phone,
pull
you
up my
said?
other phone and turn it.
Hold on.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
sent it from my
Let me see if
phone
I
to
can
your
do it.
phone. But only thing I can do is get my phone, my other phone, turn it back on,
I'll figure it
and
out
just turn
in a
it to the
second.
screen just like this.
Here's a link.
Okay. Come on.
Anyone else? Jordan Brown, what do you? Oh, that's Hey, Jordan Brown, come on in.
Well, I was just gonna go ahead and reiterate that we always did say that they did have a lot of energy and their courage and courageous and wanting to do something. It was just the way they went about doing it. So I mean, it's best that you guys listen well, get past your aphasia and look at the words in which we're using, and in criticizing a thing and not the and not the man, his person himself. As if he did under the guise of how he was going about it, did unite people, that in itself is good. Just a way about doing it.
Hey, Lawrence Marshall, come back in. Lawrence Marshall, come in the room because we was told that he got out of federal jail, but now he's in a local jail. What do you know on that, Lawrence? Marshall, come in the room because we was told that he got out of federal jail, but now he's in a local jail.
Hey, Slot, Shalom Kings. I'm gonna sign off so more people come in. The water for having me on.
All right, sure. Let me see what I had, Terrence. Lawrence Marshall, come on in the room. Let's see here. Good sure this. Share. Yeah, but what was you saying? Yashabim, they got really quiet here, and it seems like people are afraid to talk. But
Yeah.
we're not new to this.
No. Yeah, things be going on crazy in the comments, and as soon as it gets opened up, everybody gets hushed, man. Only person that came on that was saying something in the background was Ock Words. So everybody else that he addressed directly on why he came on here and gave a response, go ahead and come in the room. Got that fingertip courage. You still on the script. Ain't nobody reach out and touch you. Speak your piece.
Yeah, I mean, this is not about tearing each other down, man. I just, you know, I'll be forced to tell you, man, some of the things that, you know, some of the things that I've actually said in the past, man. If I could retract some of those, I would. It's best to hold your tongue, man, and see what's really going on, man. There's a lot of programming out here, and it runs really deep. So the enemy definitely have ways of making things appear as they are really not, and it causes a great division between us, man. And we telling you, man, we got to overcome that. There's too much animosity between us, man. Too much hate. You got to replace that, man, with love. Real talk. Can't seem to get this link on Terrence. You sent here. Jeez.
Hey, Terrence, could you type it in the private chat? And I'll see if I can get it pulled up and share it.
Yeah, I'm trying to share it from my phone.
Con.
There are several StreamYard links in the comments if you're trying to join.
Giles, Zachary, can you unblock your go ahead. What you gotta say? Zachary, what you got, brother?
We have all sat around and contemplated and wondered and pseudo strategized for moments just like this. Moments just like this. Some of us has prophesied, some of us have warned for moments just like this. Now it's our moment of truth. Okay? If you are a male and you're not organized in your neighborhood, if you're not teaching children, then you are standing by watching this happen. We need to grab 14-year-olds, 15-year-olds, 17-year-olds, 18-year-olds, 23-year-olds, and start having real conversations about our state. Because they're going to be 25. They're going to be 30. They're going to have children. People like this dude, Mr. Johnson, I'm not going to call him by his stage name. People like Mr. Johnson appear and have traction because we are not holding real conversation. We have so many misplaced soldiers in our community, male and female, people that are fighters, people that actually care but got no place to go. So when they see a character like this dude, they respond. Now, the young man that's running this, that's hosting this, I've come across a lot of your stuff. And a lot of your stuff you dead on about. But I'm in Indianapolis. And I'm preaching, my preaching is falling on deaf ears here, which tells me that if you don't live in Philadelphia, if you don't live in LA or New York, this stuff is falling on, it's not getting out. We can't keep going in circles, allowing people like Brother Johnson to be sold a dream so that he could sell us a nightmare. We got to stop giving him airspace. I know what YouTube is. I understand what it means. But at the same time, we cannot give him airspace. We cannot be talking about him. We cannot keep making him relevant. Because as long as he's relevant, they're going to continue to use him. This is the ultimate psyop. So now, let's divide him again. Let's lock him up. And the people who feel sorry for him because he looked like us, we're going to see if we can pull some of them out. We all know that all skin folk ain't kinfolk. We know that all people ain't out for our best interest just because they talk strong. Look at his track record. He's been trying to be famous his whole life. Now we can cancel everybody else, but we can't seem to cancel this character. Come on, y'all. We all better than this. And I'm out.
Oh, dang. I was too late. I had some questions for that brother. Because he kind of put out the opposite thing, which, you know, what we were putting out here. It's really not about him. It's about the circumstance. Trying to see exactly what's going on, you know, and how they're trying to.
Yeah, you know, I think I appreciate his feedback. You know, that is his view, his perspective. He's entitled to that. Again, you know, we got people saying he's an agent, and we got other people saying that I don't know, he's used as a catalyst to pull other ones out. But until someone that comes forth with actual facts and proof of that, those are just allegations. Such allegations actually been brought against me and maybe some of you guys. And I think people are missing the message here as to, you know, whether or not you're going to be in the right spirit. You're going to be that first Adam or the second Adam, the last Adam. That's the question. Let's let this play for a second.
Hey, Money here. I do have to do an update. Like I finally got some sleep after they apparently the feds have released him, Grandmaster J, this afternoon. And I finally got some sleep because you know it's been a sleepless night, right? But to find out after the feds released him, the state picked him up on an additional charge. So he is still being held by the state now. So they're trying to rush a court hearing to get him on to get out of the state now. This is just a tactic. This is just a tactic for them to get Grandmaster J and silence him. I knew they was trying to silence him. But that's a dirty move, right? That is a dirty move. Now, I was told by somebody credible. Now, I do finally have the GoFundMe link. If because y'all say you want to donate, It's going to be in the description. It's going to be in my comment section. And apparently there's other people putting GoFundMe links out. If it doesn't have Rosa Parks' name, Grandmaster J, it's not for Grandmaster J. Be careful where you donate. Be careful. Do your research. I'm going to say this. They are trying to get him out of the state. So, yeah, that's all I have for y'all. I mean, I'm just waking up to this. I thought he would be out. But, of course, as soon as the feds released him, the state picked him up because they are trying to railroad this man. Now he's under charges, wanted endangerment. Get the freak out of here. You guys, You just want to silence this man. And you want to bring us up in an uproar. NFAC, shout out to you. All his supporters, we need to just stand down, take a minute. Jay will let us know through his people what's going on. But I'm going to get more information. I'm really literally just waking up to this shit. And yes, I'm pissed off. I am definitely pissed off at Grandmaster Jay, but he's still in good spirits, I hear. And these suckers are just they're not going to stop. Like I said earlier, they're not going to stop. Now he has to fight 2 cases, federal and state. Get the frig out of here. Listen, y'all. I'm going to go check it out, do my research, and figure out what's going on. Meanwhile, the GoFundMe will be in the comment section of this video and in the description. Okay. I'll talk to y'all later. Them bastards.
I can't believe China's blaming the US for this whole virus thing.
What?
Yeah, I saw it on TV.
That's crazy, because you know it was the Chinese Communist Party's cover-up that led to this whole pandemic.
Huh, what makes you say that?
This is a timeline of how the Chinese Communist Party covered up what was happening in China over the course of 6 full weeks, how they punished the brave whistleblowers who dared to report the truth, how they played the World Health Organization, destroyed laboratory evidence, how they figured out the genome but didn't share it with anyone for a full week, and lied to the entire world until they couldn't cover it up anymore. And now here we are stuck at home.
Well, who put this timeline together?
Good question. It was the Epic Times. They've been covering the Chinese communist threat over the last 20 years like nobody else. And they investigate stories like the mysterious origins of the virus, where it really came from, as well as looking into the real numbers that are happening in China and figuring out that the official numbers being put out by the Communist Party are likely totally fabricated, as well as they've been investigating how the countries that have been...
So Terrence, there's more of an allegation. I don't know how much validity is to that, but there's more of an allegation.
Okay, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Now, the good book says to judge the tree by the fruit. All right? Because sometimes when you're too far from a tree, you don't know what kind of tree it is. So you get up on it, you get a chance to look at what's growing out of it. Okay? So we might say that, those are allegations based on it, because we don't know. You're not supposed to know. You wasn't in the meeting. None of us were. We weren't there the day that tree was planted. All we get to see is the leaves on it. So, what is his inconsistency? He had an opportunity to get in front of a microphone and make his demands about what his organization stood for. Day one, what do you want? We'll take Texas. Dumbass shit. Okay, so this man who's supposed to be a leader isn't even competent enough to understand the makeup of the state of Texas. The United States can't give nothing to nobody. We all know this. Okay, he wants to march on the quote-unquote stomping grounds of the KKK for show on July 4th. All moves sanctioned by the powers that be there. You don't think he was in communication with the top law enforcement officials, city council, all this other stuff for this show? Come on, y'all. Come on. Nobody's going to let that happen without consent. in the name of free speech and demonstration? No, they're not letting that happen. We have to stop being so desperate looking for a Messiah that we gonna follow anything that got some glitter on it. And he's covered in glitter. These women like his voice, they think he's attractive. They get caught up in his perceived leadership ability. But if anybody who's ever served in the military, you could tell he ain't got it. If you've been around strong leaders, you could tell he don't have it. I've tried to listen to him on the morning mental or any other thing that he likes to present, just so I can see if there's any improvement anywhere. No, it's not. He's just piggybacking off the Pan-African, piggybacking off the American Indian, piggybacking of all these different doctrines that are floating around on YouTube. And we like, oh yeah, he ready. Let's go help him. Bro, one of the reasons why I stayed on this path was because of you, and I'm talking to the host, was because of you. Your insight, your foresight, your ability to critically think. And now all that's out the window because he got locked up. These people are playing 8-dimensional chess. They've been playing this shit for a long time. We have to be better than this. If you want the ability to secure your neighborhood, then you form a militia in your state and you do it correctly. You train those young men that don't know what to do with themselves, that got passion, that got power in them, and you train them. You do it the right way. And no, you don't rush off screaming black this, black that, when you know it doesn't have any standing in law. You know it doesn't have any standing in law. You can't. It's a self-defeating argument. And following a person just because he can convince some other people who are clearly not paying attention to walk around with him, no, he's not worthy of that level of empathy. He chose, like I said in my comment that I typed out, he chose a side and he chose the wrong one. So for fame, for power, for fortune, whatever his if is, whatever his why is, because don't nobody know it but him. This is what we got. This is why we online having this conversation. This is why we on YouTube teleconferencing in like we supposed to be playing in the business meeting, but we talking about this. It's garbage. I normally stay off stuff like this because it's not always my place to say something. Sometimes I need to listen. Sometimes I need to observe. Sometimes I need to learn that way. But my passion and my frustration about this particular cat. Look here, man. My grandfather came up from Mississippi, brought 200 of his family members up here after that. I got 9 sisters and over 70 nieces and nephews I'm responsible for. I'm the oldest male in my family. So I got to make sure that the influences that they see as their uncle, as their brother, as a son, and as a father are thorough. We all have that obligation or we fail as men. We all have it. So if you believe what you believe, stand on it. If you know that there's bullshit in the game, call it, whether it looks like us or not. He has to prove his validity to us. We don't have to prove anything to him. The burden is on him. But by his actions, by his fruit, undisciplined formation, undisciplined firearm handling, making demands that don't make sense, that have no legal bearing or consequence whatsoever, that nobody can actually sit down at a table and begin to iron out. Because he's asking for them, one, in the wrong status, and two, for the wrong thing. So, you either got two types of people. You got people who believe what he says because they're lost, or there's people who support him because they're along with the agenda. Now, for anybody who supports him, which one are you? Are you lost because you don't know no better? Because if you lost and you don't know no better and he leading you astray, that's a different kind of burden on him. But you still have an individual responsibility to fact check, to verify what's going on. I served in the military. I know what good leadership looks like. I know what solid, consistent leadership looks like. I've moved into my community. I know what it means to care about your community. Not for me, but watching others work hard, put in those tireless hours. So, and he ain't wearing none of those badges, bro. He ain't wearing none of them. He's about as effective as a talking head. He's our community Max Headroom. And we as men, the life takers, the protectors, the hunters, the builders, we as men are falling for this shit. They've been giving us false leaders since 1619. They realized we stopped going to church. They've been doing a head count in church for 10, 20 years. They realized we stopped coming to church. So how can they reach it? We'll give them a former DJ turned rapper turned politician turned militia leader. Get the fuck out of here.
Hey, Yashabim, you said you had some questions for this brother?
Yeah, he's actually answering them by giving more of his perspective now. But I did have one additional. So I just realized you said something about everything goes out the window because of his circumstance. That's I think you kind of missed the message a little bit.
I may have, and I'm not gonna act like I may have missed the message because I hopped in, when I pulled up my phone, it strolled down my YouTube, so I hopped on in.
Okay, so
right? So
I was going to say,
if you don't mind.
Yeah, I got you.
Go ahead.
So the message is about not attacking the brother as a man, but attacking his methods or his path in which he's kind of taking, because it seems like it's an error. Ain't no kinda, it was an error. We brought out in the video that and you even mentioned it, him taking people out in mass numbers, saying one thing, doing something else. We called it out before they actually injured themselves in Louisville, Kentucky, back when they was trying to show forth in Stone Mountain over here in Georgia, outside of Atlanta. So what this message is about is us not glorying in his circumstance of him being arrested, because we never attacked him as his person, because there are things that we don't have first knowledge of about his motives and or intent. So it's not that it goes out the window, but until we can speak to him directly those things we can't stand on solely what the leaves look like on the vine.
Okay, so I was a little kid and I told a white lie to my uncle once. Okay, and it was over something stupid like some peanut butter or something. Did I leave the lid off or something? Right? 4th grade, and I remember him telling me that if I can't trust you in small things, I can't trust you in big things. Okay? So I'm applying that litmus test with him. Right? So in my opinion, this is just my opinion, everything has to get thrown out. Like you can't keep any of this. Any part of it that you choose to hold on to, you holding on to a lie.
I want to interject with that
Go
point and just mention the word in this. It says if your hand makes you do evil, cut off the hand. But it doesn't tell you that you're worthless because your hand is doing evil. I'm saying that to say I'm supporting what Yashabin is saying when we saying, yeah, we noticing, these things about his hand or whatever that's not necessarily going in the right direction, but we're not gonna cut him off completely just because he's walking in error. If anything, we should want to encourage him to do better. Aren't we all trying to strive ourselves to do better and be better men?
So brother,
if I could real quick, because I totally agree with you on that in that respect, right? But before we can do that, right, like there has to be some level of awareness, there has to be some level of contrition, and there has to be some level of remorse, okay, with Mr. Johnson, okay? Reading his body language, looking at his face, listening to his tone, his inflection. This man, okay, has committed himself to this.
okay,
right?
but here's the thing, brother.
He committed himself to leading us astray.
Go ahead, Tasha Doc. Please, because
Okay, so right now, brother, what I just hear is a lot of accusatory statements that you're making of the brother. I just want to say this. You came on and you referenced what you referred to as a good book. And I surmise you're referring to the Bible, but you didn't use one precept from it. It's a Christianity type jargon. You make reference to the book, but you're not exercising any of the principles from the book. Let's read this again for him. This is what our message was about. Let's get Yakanan, John 15, verse 13. This is important, man. And most people are not operating from the spirit, and this is why we continuously attack each other. It's like we love to see brothers just beat down, and when they beat down, we want to step on them and spit on them. Now, we brought out earlier when the Pharisees, because I'm feeling a lot of Pharisaic spirits coming around here, they was always looking for an angle to attack Hamashiach and the disciples. They was never looking for the good. You're going to see what you look for, right? If you're consistently looking for bad in someone, that's what. Don't cut my knowledge, King. We did not interrupt you. Now, please give me the opportunity to speak. You keep looking for bad. That's where you keep finding bad. Now, we acknowledge that the brother does not necessarily vibrate with us on a spiritual level, right? We acknowledge that. But should we write him off? Not according to Hamashiach. He said that my work is, he said, for those that are whole don't need a doctor, but those that are sick. We read that. So it becomes our responsibility if we're alleging that we have the true spirit of Christ in us, that we supposed to be going out and trying to save that lost sheep and bring it back in. And we're setting ourselves up as shepherds. A shepherd's job is to gather the sheep and bring them back in. So let's get that Yachanan, John 15, verse 13.
The book of Yachanan, John chapter 15, verse 13. No one has greater love than this, that one should lay down his life for his friends.
See that? See that? And not necessarily someone that you really know, your brother, your sister, and so on and so forth. If they're lost, Hamashiach told Peter, feed my sheep. He said, if you love me, feed my sheep. We read that. We read that. Let's get 1 John 3, verse 16. Hamashiach showed perfect love. He showed perfect love by laying down his life, like was mentioned here in John 15 and 13. He gave his life for us, man. But we're not willing to do this for each other, yet we claim we love him because we're liars. We're quick, okay, let's say he's wrong. Let's say what he's doing is not right. The question becomes, what have you done to try and save him? What have you done to try and show him a different perspective? Unless you reached out to him effortlessly and try and say, hey, brother, maybe you may want to tone that down and so on and so forth, then how does that make us any better? Well, we're quick to tear down, but we don't like to build up. Someone got that precept?
Book of 1 Yachanan, chapter 3, verse 15. Everyone hating his brother is a murderer.
See that? Read it again.
Everyone hating his brother is a murderer.
Mm-hmm. Read on.
You know that no murderer has everlasting life staying in him.
See that? So we're not called to settle for anything less than this kind of love. This is the kind of love that Hamashiach wants us to have, man. There's been a lot of arguing and bickering on this platform, man, since we started this message. But the message was intended to say, listen, man, yeah, we disagree with our brother. And some people say, oh, well, we don't know he's our brother. He in the same skin and all that. Well, you don't know that he's not. You see what I'm saying? And unless you're certain, then we shouldn't really be passing those type of judgments because we're not certain on it. You see what I'm saying? So this kind of love that Hamashiach is talking about will change the whole world if people would just listen and submit to Yahweh's command to love like him. Most of us, we talk that with our lips, but we really don't do it. Otherwise, we will look at the situations like, damn. Yeah, I mean, even though, you know, we kind of called this, right? We prophesied that this would happen. Did we not, Yashabin? We prophesied that this was happen, but does that mean we wanted it to happen? No. The reason that we was given warnings because we did not want this to happen. We didn't want this to happen, man. No man, I don't like seeing no man go to jail unless he done something that's really fitting for that. Otherwise, man, that's a wicked place to be in, man. But most of us, you see, when we're dealing with that natural love, right? You're dealing with that natural love, which is the other side of that same coin that has hate on it. That's conditional love. See, that's the man that we was talking about of the flesh. That's the first Adam. See, that can evaporate when the emotional playoff is gone. You know what I mean? That's like a man and a woman relationship. If they truly will love you, man, they always going to be right there. But when the emotional playoff is gone, they don't laugh at your jokes anymore. They don't smile. Not holding it. That's an emotional love. This is what we try and teach David last night. What I try and teach him, man. He might be older than me, but perhaps not moving in the same spirit as me in knowledge and in truth. That's the problem, man. We got to stop operating off of this emotional love. Yeah, I done my brother wrong. He done me wrong 70 times 7. 70 times 7, man. And right now, if, we got people saying he's an agent, we got people saying this, I want you for 1 second, all of you, man, under the sounds of my voice for 1 second, put yourself in the predicament that he may be in right now. Would you want people bad-mouthing you and siding with those that may be trying to set you up? I don't know whether he is or whether he's not, but I will say this. If his intent was sincere and it was totally focused on the liberation of us, then I regret what is happening to the brother is happening. However, if what he's undergoing is because of something that he was doing that's off, then he's just actually receiving judgment. See, this Western culture is obsessed with what is called love. Romance. You're not even Roman. Oh, yeah, he's not romantic. See, romance is everyone's mind, on their mind all of the time. Listen to the radio. Watch it on social media. Watch movies. You see how the culture celebrates and even worships passion, sex. And the women know that. That's why they lure you around. See, for this kind of love, men and women, they would do outlandish things. Not the least of which is abandoning their families for the next lover. But when you compare this kind of love to the true love of Yahweh, why Yahweh Shah, this love is merely nothing but emotionalism. And it's psychology. That's not real love. See, this greater love is more powerful than anything on this earth, man. More powerful than money, than anything. And most people never reach this level of vibration. This love does not and cannot exist in the same vessel as hate. So when I hear people speaking hate towards your brother, you don't have to use the word hate. But when you speak in hate towards your brother, don't say you have the love of Hamashiach in you, man. Darkness and light cannot exist in the same vessels. We read it. This kind of love can only be learned from Yahweh, man. This is how we know what love is. Hamashiach laid down his life for us, man. That's why the scripture says there's no greater love than a man that lays down his life for his brother. Anything else, as Yahshua being read, 1 John 3:15, might as well be hate. And it's a sign of unbelief. See, laying down one's life means literally dying for someone. Very few people on this call will do this, man. And if you say you will, you're a liar. But it starts with simply dying to self for someone. For instance, giving one's possession to someone that really need them. 1 John 3:17, man. Someone might be in need of something that you have. Here, brother, take this. I don't need it. Take this food. For one's friend. Yashabin read. Who are your friends? See, they would take that literally, Yashabin. See, the question is similar to the Pharisees' questions to Hamashiach. Who is my neighbor? In the book of Luke 10:29. See, with this kind of love, even one's enemies are to be considered to be their friends. So even if you looked at Jam Master J as your enemy, a Grandmaster J, he's considered to be your friend in the love of Mashiach. So as you give your life, you say, Father, forgive them. They do not know what they're doing. As it says in the book of Luke 23:34. See, that's the kind of love that we've been speaking of today. And as you see, Yashabim is going over most folks' head. People keep coming in here talking about Adam. Now, as you see for yourself, Yashabim, most people that's coming in here, when are they coming in? They're coming in the spirit of the first Adam. That's what this whole sermon was about. The first Adam, and it's still going on, man. That's all I got,
May I
man.
interject?
That's all I got, man. Go ahead.
Okay, so, you know, the example of the wheat and the tares. Are we supposed to look at the tares and say that's going one day that might turn into some wheat? Now, come on now. You separate the wheat from the tares.
No. See, you're going off, brother.
Oh, damn it. Hold on.
You're going off, man. Don't put out lies, man. If you're gonna read the scripture, read it right.
Hold on.
The Mashiach separate the wheat from the tear. No, don't say something that's inaccurate, brother.
You're right. We don't. You're right. We don't. Right.
I can't let you come on this platform and put out some inaccurate information.
Hey, man, I just told you you was right. I just told you you was right, bro. Now, come on now. You ain't great badger me about it.
No, if you're gonna recite precepts, if you don't know,
mind the correction. I don't mind the correction. I don't mind the correction. But you're not gonna badger me about it. You're right. Now, I see him as a tear. Plain and simple. I see him growing up amongst us as a tear. Now, he can change. He can go from being Saul to Paul. So right now, he's Saul. Now, is he on his road to Damascus? I don't know. That's not my spiritual walk. That's his. But I know that what lives in me, this is not about hating him. This is not about not loving him. This is about dealing with what is. In the daylight, you deal with life during the daylight. At night, you deal with life at night. But you still have to deal with life, but you deal with life in two different capacities. So, this brother is, Mr. Johnson, is not, I repeat, is not, he's not bringing that light or that love.
You're going back to an accusatory statement, but I got a precept right quick to help you out. That's 1 John chapter 3, and that's verse 18. My little children, let us not love in word or in tongue, but in deed and in truth. So this was already brought out that unless we have firsthand knowledge, you know what I'm saying, we shouldn't stand on that. But see, again, I say to you, you're going off of what the vines and the fruit look like, and you also said just now that you see him as a wheat. No, you see him as a tear, and that is wheat. Are you saying that it's harvest time? Because the message is about what have you done? Really, what have you done to try to win him over? Because the knowledge that you're bringing forth, brother, is all well and true. That's your truth. But a fact doesn't have to be truth in order to be a fact. The knowledge that you have is not firsthand about his motives, intentions, and his, and his doings behind closed doors. But as you said, we've related in the past, we see the same things. It does look like something. It is just a clue, but we don't have firsthand knowledge. So you can say if you see him as a tear, which is all well and good, but that's still based off of second-hand type information, not first-hand knowledge. So it goes back to, you can say, I mean, it goes back to the original message, man. It really is. It's about love. And for whatever reason, the message is really missing you. And I kind of feel sorry for you about it. I mean, you got good energy in your intentions as well, just like he does. But in relation to the message, you know, I don't see you any different than Grandmaster Jay on a greater scale. You just at a smaller scale because we're speaking and it's missing. Just like we offered him to come on the platform and he, you know, went another way.
I appreciate that. Now, with that said, then we may just be missing each other, and that's okay. I don't have to convince you that I'm right of anything, right? And I know I'm not done growing at all, so I may be missing it. I may spend the next few hours after I log off of here, contemplate it, meditate on it, pray on it, and I may get a different understanding about this whole thing.
You know what it is, brother?
I'm definitely not foolish enough to think that that's not possible. But I guess what I'm trying to say is this: I'm hearing the tone of there's things that we don't know, so therefore we cannot make a decision either way. And I'm relying on the gift of discernment given it to me by my Creator, to be able to look at a situation and say, yeah, if this is right or not. I know the energy that is moved through my spirit when this man moves, talks, and acts. And there's nothing genuine about it. So, no, trust me, based on some of the organizing work that I've done throughout my life, I know that I am not in every meeting, and I don't need to be in every meeting to understand what comes out of those meetings. I don't need to read the minutes. I don't need to see the video footage. I don't need an audio recording to see what comes out of those meetings. But actions come out of those meetings. And that's all I'm saying.
All right, I'm gonna remove him, man. So this is a problem that this brother is operating. He's carnal. The reason he's not getting the message, Dr. Beam, is because he's carnal. He's not spiritual at all. When he's talking about spirit, he's not even operating in it from a spiritual realm. Everything that this man is carnal, and he's making accusatory statements, but he has no physical evidence to solidify anything that he's stating. And the message keeps going over his head because he's carnal. So we're trying to sell him like, okay, well, maybe we don't agree with the brother. Maybe we don't agree with all of his aspects, but can there be at least some love in your heart that you try and see, okay, maybe he was in error. If someone is in error, the only thing they know is what they know. Can you hold them at fault for that? No. So now you have a responsibility for trying to show that person something else. But you're not doing that. You're just tearing them down. You're just consistently tearing them down. And the reason you're doing that is because all this negative energy that you're throwing out towards him and these allegations that you're putting on him is that's what you're filled with. That's why that's the only thing that you could give off. There's not one positive statement that you've stated. Everything is actually coming from a negative perspective because you're projecting what you are. See, we don't attract what we want. We attract what we are. And so the very energy that you give out, that's what you get back. Since this brother came on, all of his energy's been now. He done this, and he done this. And the conversation wasn't even about that. From the inception is we started about, yeah, we've disagreed with the brother in the past, but at the end of the day, he's our brother. And I was first to say I love the brother. I don't agree with his tactics, but I'm not going to come against him when he's down. I'm not going to kick him when he's down, because that's an expression of who you really are. The only reason you try and kick the brother if he's down is because you're already down there. To kick someone when they're down, you got to be down there at the bottom to kick them. You can't be on that higher level that we was talking about. You understand? He just keeps trying to beat the guy down. He didn't, none of what we heard, and he admitted that he wasn't on most of the core, but even if we went over some precepts, He still ignored all of that. Then he came back talking about precepts that he didn't comprehend. Then when I tried to interject, he escalated his voice like a debtor. He wanted to engage in polemics, so I shut up. But we don't have to let you come over here and take charge of this platform. But then you're going to misquote scriptures. Then when I try and correct you, you try and make it seem as though I was doing a bad thing. We got to make sure that no bad information goes out here. Nothing but the truth.
Con.
Now, he's always supposed to separate the wheat from the stare. We ain't supposed to do a damn thing. Scripture say Hamashiach does that. You understand what I'm saying?
Con.
And now you gainsaying. The scripture say Hamashiach does that. Not us. It says to let the wheat grow with the tear. You understand what I'm saying? Then the master's going to separate them in the end. Because if you try and get the tares, the scripture says if he knew the scripture, which he doesn't, the scripture said you might kill some of the wheat. You understand what I'm saying? You don't have the ability to discern that, and it's obvious by your lack of spirituality. Because he was moving in the spirit of Mashiach, that's not his spirit. We even went over the precepts why they asked him, why are you sitting down with tax collectors and sinners? And he said, my work is for the sick. So if this man consistently is saying that the man, Grandmaster Jay, is sick, he's paraphrasing it. Essentially, that's what he's saying. Why is he not trying to save it? When I asked that question, he's yet to address that. We got to stop tearing each other down, man, and learn to try and pull each other up, man. And all of us are guilty of that. This is why I had the brother bring out Romans 3:10. There's none that's righteous, no, not one. Then this is why I made the parable to the fruit on the tree of good and evil. You got fruit that look rotten, and you got fruit that look delicious. But all of the fruit has some badness in it. And you got to purge out that badness, man. And people are not willing to do that about themselves. I could guarantee you, man, anyone under the sounds of my voice right now, if you was in that situation, you would not want us talking badly about you. We got to learn to put ourselves in those situations for a minute, man. And we all make mistakes, man. What if he's learning? I take you to the parable of Mary Magdalene that was caught in the act of adultery. What was the punishment? The punishment is to do the same thing that Zachary's doing right now to Grandmaster Jay, to ridicule him, put him down, stone him. The punishment was to stone him to death. He's stoning Grandmaster Jay with his words right now. But what did Hamashiach say? Hold up. Yeah, we know that's the judgment. But first, let he that is without sin cast the first stone. They had to drop their stones, and this brother will have to drop his stone. Take the mote out of your own eye, man. Then come back and deal with your brother. See, when you all right, you could do that. But we just read that today, that the spirit of Hamashiach don't have any darkness in it. You're only moving in the light, which means you're only moving in love. So it will be positive speaking coming from you instead of negativity. Tearing down, it would be building up. You're supposed to be trying to lift him up to Shemayim, not take him down to Hades. That's what it really is, man. But a lot of people are not getting this, man. Most of these people come on these calls, man, they're not spiritual. They're claiming. But Hamashiach, he warned us about his people, doesn't he? He warned us about it. He told us again, what did he say, Yashabin? These people draw near to me with their mouth and their lips.
Con. And then repeated by John in 1 John 3 and 18. Let us not love in word or in tongue, but in deed and truth.
Come. Matthew 15:8 said, these people draw near to me with their mouth and honor me with their lips. Yeah, I love him. But their hearts are far from me. Why are their hearts far from me? What kind of heart did he have? He had the kind of heart that would lay down his life for his brother, man. That's what we got to be, man. We really want to be certain about getting into that kingdom, man. This is how we better start to become, man. We better stop tearing each other down, man. We got to stop tearing each other down, man, for real. What you got, brother Richard? Richard.
Yeah, peace, brother. I was trying to mute my TV. I was playing the broadcast on TV. I didn't want the feedback to.
Did you have anything to add? Take away, Art.
I wanted to add something. Or really, it was a question. Or I believe in Revelations. Doesn't John talk about how, you know, followers will be exiled and, you know, punished and treated like prisoners and so on? I'm looking for the scripture right now.
What was that, brother?
I said, in Revelations, doesn't John talk about being exiled and punished by, you know, the law enforcement or the people in today's society for being followers? And I'm not saying that Brother Jay was following necessarily correctly, but I mean, you know, I just look at, you know, this black conscious or, you know, so-called black conscious thing, and, you know, all these people giving out their information and stuff like that, and I compare it to, you know, brothers before and after, and I look at, you know, at him as more of a militant mind, kind of more like Malcolm X, Huey P. Newton, Bobby Seale, and to me, I just look at how it plays out, and it's like he's being military, but he's being military offensive. You know what I'm saying? He's showing the weapons, he's showing the arms, he's doing all these things. So, you know, me looking at the past and then seeing how it plays out, it's like I could see how he could have, and how this is something that's happened to him. You know what I'm saying? As far as, you know, the police and him being accused of whatever he's being accused of, holding a gun at police officers, right? But I'm saying this to say, like, don't we, like, the brother McLeod was saying, like, we're looking for a Messiah, we're looking for somebody to follow. I don't necessarily think that that's completely true. I just feel like, you know, we all want to gravitate towards, you know, a union or unity, you know, and some of us wanted this to be Yahweh Yeshua, you know, our God, you know, our Savior, and others want it to be something materialistic. I'm not saying that that's what the brother JMSJ did, but I agree in saying how his tactics and the way he goes about it. The reason why I respect Kahan Tazadak is because even though I do feel like you are militant, it's so much more cerebral. You're training our minds to be to have foresight about situations like this, about being approached in these type of manners. And you're not telling us to go out here and show our arms or anything. You know what I'm saying? We're be prepared for whatever, but you're not telling us to go out looking. And I'm not saying necessarily Jay was, but I'm saying with the, you know, with his displays of things, it was more of a showing of arms. And I mean, that's really what I wanted to say. Like, I think as chosen people like John, we're going to be exiled and punished in certain ways. But, you know, it's us, we're going to have that time of reflection to figure out, you know, what we're doing wrong. And, you know, maybe the brother can improve on what he's doing. And if he's walking in the right way, well, I hope for the best for him. But I'm just saying, I agree with you in saying we just can't just jump to conclusions and just point and accuse him of doing all these things, but we really have no proof. All I can say is I know that the brother galvanized a whole bunch of people. You know what I'm saying? I didn't necessarily agree completely on how he did it, his approach, but I respect that. You get what I'm saying? And I appreciate
Hey, is that me, Melvin? I see your lips moving, And your
I
mic
think he went muted.
Oh, okay, yeah, your sound isn't coming through.
So Black MC06, Mary Magdalene, there's no proof that she wasn't the woman that was caught in adultery. I've heard that debate before, and so what we do know is that Mary Magdalene had 7 demons in it. So, and there's a lot of allegation that her and the other Mary was the same. But you're right, the scriptures doesn't specifically say it was Magdalene, but we do know that Mary Magdalene had 7 demons in her. Go ahead, brother. Looks like Richard fell out. Anyone else that want to come in, you could come on in, man. I think we heard from the brother Giles enough, man. I don't want to go into that anymore. Anyone else that got anything, you can come on into the room, man. Facts over feelings, say Grandmaster J is free. Facts over feelings, come on in the room. Click on the link. A lot of hate going on. I mean, we don't necessarily have to agree with him, but I just know we got to stop tearing each other down, man. Really.
I hope Black MC06 is in the background. Rob Carpenter, Double Trouble. Anybody else that has anything to add, take away from tonight's message, whether you agree, disagree, or have any other kind of proof based on the subject matter on what Grandmaster J's status is, go ahead and bring it out. But it doesn't surprise me, but it is definitely it is disheartening, because we definitely put it out there from the beginning, and it looks like there's some aphasia going on with being able to differentiate one's actions versus from the man himself. The Most High has always given us a way to come back and be reconciled onto him, always condemned our actions and traditions and things like that, but always provided a way for us to come back onto him. And that's really all he's charging us to do. That's really what love is about. At least that's how I see it. That's what it reads when I read it. We must do our part and at least stretching out our hand to be able to show our brothers and our sisters another way. Until the day of reckoning or that harvest time comes. When that day comes, it's too late. There's nothing else we can do but for us to, to be steadfast ourselves. But until then, we're supposed to be reaching out to our brothers.
Sorry, the money's on the computer.
Oh, Rob Carpenter, you got in here late. Go ahead and just watch it from the beginning.
What is he saying?
He doesn't know much about the situation, and if we explain what happened.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's kind of like the people that come on the Como's videos. Want me to start over from the beginning?
Richard Birch, you fell out. What did you have, Art?
Yeah, peace, bro. I was trying to say something when the brother was you know, basically passing judgment on brother Jay. And I just wanted to put it out there as like I was saying, Matthew 15, starting at verse 22. And it said, "And behold, a woman of Canaan came out of the slain coast and cried unto him, saying, Have mercy on me, O Lord, thou son of David. My daughter is grievously vexed with the devil. But he answered her not a word. And his disciples came and besought him, saying, Send her away, for she cried after us." So you know what I'm saying? The disciples said, Send her away. But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Then came she and worshipped him, saying, Lord, help me. But he answered and said, It is not meet to take the children's bread and to cast it to dogs. And she said, Truth, Lord, yet the dogs eat of the crumbs which fall from the master's table. Then Jesus answered and said unto her, O woman, great is thy faith. Be it unto thee, even as thou wilt. And her daughter was made whole from that very hour. Like, he was talking about the wheat and the tare, like he was basically, you know, saying he a tare already. But like, this is a prime example of where it wasn't even the girl that came, it was her mother that came in place of her and asked for her forgiveness. And you know what I'm saying? Asked for the most, for Yahweh to help her. And he said from that very hour, he was made whole. So don't be so quick to count somebody out.
Right.
Especially like the brother was saying, like, you don't even have all the facts of the situation, because like, you have to do unto others as you had them do unto you. Like, if you was in that situation, you won't want people counting you out. And like, man, yeah, you did it. And you know what I'm saying? Truth be told, I wasn't even there. You know what I'm saying? That ain't even what I did. That ain't even the fact of the situation. So you have to put out that vibration of truth seeking. Like, seek the truth. Don't just go with the crowd and what everybody's saying happened. Because the brother might not even did that. Because, you know what I'm saying? Just off my recollection of one of the videos that the brothers had played, he made it very clear that he was not about trying to make a war against these people. And some of the brothers that was with him was kind of mad at him because he said that.
Yep.
So, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, hold down on that judgment, because like a lot of times, bro, if you ain't got the whole situation, 9 times out of 10 you're wrong. But I just wanted to put that out there.
Con. Yep, that's right, man. It's spot on. Told you, man, we quick to judge each other. In hate, but not in love. Quick to judge each other in hate. Love to tear other brothers and sisters down, man. Having the facts are one thing, man, but to just, judge someone you don't even know? Come on. What you got to say about this, Marty? You've been listening in the entire while.
It's I'm just I'm with you guys. I was listening at the other brother stop him. He was saying most of the stuff was built on his feelings. You got to do a certain amount of educating yourself. It can't be just saying that, and you asked him several times, to look at that in a different perspective, but he was basing everything on, he said, the way he felt, not information that he, you asked him about his information, his firsthand. He was just saying that it was all intuition, the way he felt. Education is essential, and people don't really realize that, you can use your spiritual, awareness, and ability to, to bring you to some conclusions, but just feelings is not enough, like you were saying. We don't spread gossip, we don't, inappropriate information. And I think that's a really honorable platform and way to represent yourself, because people look for the honesty and the genuineness of a platform like this. And it is very essential. So that's all I got to say is that the brother, I think he's a good brother and stuff, but, I just, if he's still, tuned in, I want him to understand that education is going to take him to a whole different level of awareness, because when you think something and you assume something, it's not going to really give you everything that you are looking for. But when you do your research and you do your part to educate yourself, and you always say, don't just take it from you, go do your own research. I think that's really refreshing for people to understand that, we are about that over here, and to the point that we maybe misjudge some things. We have enough honor and dignity to come forth and say how we truly feel, and to kind of rectify anything that we've said. And I don't think at any point that, as you said, that any of us say anything trying to, to slam the brother. It was just, being safe in the way you conduct yourself when, when you're in charge of the masses, keep our people safe with the right things that the right training and the right information that we always do here, and that's what's really special about TDOC and the True Disciples of Christ and anti-police brutality, because it's an honorable platform. It's and it's always been meant to be that way. And every person that has ever really put effort into being with us, they know that, and they found that to be true. And I don't think it's one person that can stand forth and truly say that that is incorrect. So, I just want to, just let people understand that, we in support of all that is good and righteousness over here. And, if you're not from our part of our nation, and you for the same things that we embrace, then we have things that we can relate, and we can clearly support each other on. And the things we don't, we just, we can work together to try to come together. But within the information that we get and the things that we're willing to share with each other to bring a better way to the things that we do over here, that's what it's about, being supportive of each other and loving, caring, the same things we do. But that's it. I was just listening in, and that brother, I wasn't against it. But he needs to really not pay so much on feeling, but do his research, and as we do. And, try to understand that it's it's nothing wrong with being wrong, but it's everything is wrong with knowing you're wrong and then debating it, arguing it because you're into your emotions, because that's not going to get you very far. But with that, it's been, always a pleasure to be part of this.
Yeah, Con. Thank you, Marty. Yeah, man. We got to be very careful, man, of some of the things that come out of our mouth. So we can't take it back. Scriptures say we're going to be judged by everything that comes out of our mouth. lot of spirits moving out here, man. A lot of them they're not speaking, but you can see the text messages in the chat room. So all kind of spirits out here today. It's been moving in these rooms, man. But they won't come and speak it vocally. But hey, what else is new? We just gotta run the love more, man. And be ready to lay down our life, man, for our brothers and stop faking it. Until you get there, you're not in the spirit of Hamashiach. I'll be willing to put your life on the line, man, to save another. Because that's what Christ did. And you're supposed to be Christ-like. And if you're not walking in that spirit, then you're just not Christ-like. No matter how much you think you are. You draw it near him with your lips and your mouth, but your heart's so far from him. Anyone else?
All
right, man. So I guess we could go ahead and end this, man. We thank everyone for tuning in. Learn to spread love a little more, man, than all the hate. There's a lot of hate out there, man. Throwing around a lot of hate. You gotta rise above all of that, man. So with that, we're gonna say shalom, man. Everyone be safe. Shalom.
Shalom.